You are now listening to Nerd Rage Radio with Bobby Skullface and Adam Russman. This podcast is intended for mature audiences only and may not fit with your sensitive sensibilities. You may be a victim of meaningless outrage, or you may, in fact, be a big ninny pants. If this is the case, please feel free to turn it off now. This is no country for ninny pants. So crack open the Mountain Dew. Make sure the cheese doodles are super fresh. We're in your mother's basement. It's Nerd Rage Radio.
That's what she always says.
And welcome to episode 140 of Nerd Rage Radio with your hosts, one from my left to my right, Mr. Dante the Destroyer.
Hey, what's up?
Maryland Philney, is he?
What's up, guys?
Or Shizzy?
Maryland Phil's hat collection is wild,
right? Dude. It's something to inspire to.
He's like, excuse me, can you point to the hats with the most colors? I never know what I'm going to wear. I want it to be able to match with everything.
Or nothing.
This I specifically wanted because I'm a Spider-Man fan. So.
And of course, that's Mr. Bobby Skullface.
What up?
And I'm Adam Russman, and thank you for joining us today on a very special episode of Nerd Rage Radio, where we discuss the pros and cons of
Patreon supporters. And speaking of which, we want to give a special shout out to all the Patreon supporters. We've gotten a couple of new ones.
Or a shout out.
What did I say?
Shout out.
Shout out. Thinking of you and shouting you out. Dude, you're not even up on the new slang. You are so trash with the new slang.
I am. So behind the times.
But yes, thank you all. We have a lot of new stuff coming to Patreon that we're pretty excited about.
Yeah.
We're changing, look, it was pretty much like a behind-the-scenes Dio thing and an extra show. We're taking that a whole new door.
Yep.
We have plenty of stuff starting in whatever the next month is, May.
Yeah, starting with our lingerie show.
Yes.
Men's lingerie.
Yes.
Sign me the fuck up.
I just got to wait for this nipple ring to heal properly.
It's going to give
it oozy.
It's going to give a whole new definition when someone says zip it.
Whole full jumpsuit.
Hey, remember, safe word is banana.
Bring out the gimp. Yeah, and I want to give a special shout out to the Patreon supporters. I want to make sure you check us out on Instagram. Check it. You probably already are.
Yes, of
Check
course.
us out on Facebook. Check us out on Twitter. We're revamping everything. And I want to shout out the team also real quick. We'll just get that out of the way. Joe KW, he couldn't be here today, but I am doing a special show with him when you're away. You're going to be away next week. So I'm going to do a special show with him.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. Yeah. And Black Phillip, who cannot say anything about anything without being a spoiler.
Oh yeah,
Dude, I'm so glad that guy never sees movies early.
What happened?
Like, look, dude, no spoilers, okay? No spoilers.
Okay.
I'm oozing with jealousy.
Okay.
You got to see The Last Jedi before me. Just on a scale from 1 to 10, no spoilers, what'd you think of it?
Yeah.
I loved the Luke death.
Is that what you said to somebody about?
No, but that's his nature.
Okay.
I had to bleep out significant parts of his...
when you guys came back here. I didn't have the
He
context.
said he wasn't coming today because now spoilers are available and he's not interested anymore. So I hit him up. I said, "Are you going to be in Bobby's today? Because we're doing spoilers." And he's like,
dude,
not interested.
Do we need to put an uncut version of that on Patreon for funsies?
It's not... It's only like 3 sentences.
Oh, okay.
But you spoiled right away.
Right away. Shout out to Raul. We've been talking to him recently. We're getting ready to do some... I'm so excited about Nerd Rage right now.
Yeah, my penis is tingling right now.
Dude, I'm like... I don't even want to begin. Shout out, of course, to Dante, who we had the pleasure of spending some time with today. We're waiting for him to move a little bit closer so he can just be a regular.
Yeah.
And I think... Oh, and Manny. Manny, I almost forgot you again because you haven't got a mug to put on the shelf. And Skullfest is next week. So
make that happen.
You better bring that mug.
Speaking of mug photos, we need to put a higher resolution mug photo on the Patreon.
Yeah, you're probably right.
It's trash. Our Patreon, marketing skills, complete garbage.
Yeah, I mean, I wonder,
thank God we have a loyal fan base.
So when we set up the Patreon...
We just did it, in a cafe.
Yeah, we 100% did it in a cafe. And
having egg sandwiches.
And it said, put your goal for a month. So we tried to put $1 billion.
It wouldn't let us.
It wouldn't let us. We ran out of space for zeros. So it says $1,000, which is like kind of feasible, but it makes us look like super trash because like people come on and they're like, oh my God, they're like 2% there. But really, we're just grateful for whatever. If you guys spare change in the couch, that's what we're looking for. We're not looking for fucking, you know, make your bills, please.
And if you are a Patreon supporter, you do get the podcast literally minutes after we're done recording it. Like we record this one on a Sunday, so you get it, you know, a couple days early, and that happens instantly. And then we'll take out all the ads.
Yeah,
from our advertisers.
All of our advertisers.
All ads, completely uncut. We don't cut things. All the ads.
I'm trying to think of like something.
No, we
super fucked up to like give an ad, like do a fake ad for it right now, but I'm a little jittery.
Viagra?
No, butt plug.
Flashlights.
Dude, why are they so wide at the bottom? Too much. Like, you gotta be a real champ. Like, dude.
I mean, I got that. I don't have a butt plug. You just don't. You want it to stop. You don't want it to go all the way in.
No. I understand the cap. I understand. I'm talking about right before it shrinks down to the little bit. There's that big fat, like it goes. You know what I mean? And then it cuts in, and then goes. I'm like,
if you stick it on the wall or something.
Dude, no, but yeah, that part makes sense out there. We're not talking about the same part of the butt plug.
Oh.
So not the part.
I'm not very well versed in butt plugs.
Well, I am, because every time I walk by them, for some reason I go. I don't. It's involuntary. I don't know why I do it.
I don't know if I've actually seen.
I did that.
I don't know if I've actually seen one in real life. Are
you serious?
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
All right, we have a lot to talk about today. We're probably going to get a very heavy discussion. Of course, Infinity War is doing amazing.
As it should.
It has now broke the weekend record, taking out The Last Jedi.
Should we make some noise for that guy?
God damn it.
Well done. Well done.
Did I go too long? So, so we're going to get into that. We're going to deconstruct that film a little bit and maybe talk about some of our predictions with the next one. We don't have a date, though, yet. It's not a 6-month thing. Is it a year thing?
I think it's a year thing.
I think that might be too long.
Free comic book day next year.
I think it might be too long. But, we'll see what happens.
I think that would have... I think it has already made history in the way that it was done. And we're not gonna spoil anything now. We're gonna get to a spoiler section. Yep. But I think had they done some shit where it's like, here's part 1 in 3 months, when this shit leaves theater, comes part 2.
Oh my God!
Like, imagine the kick in the teeth.
People would have lost their fucking.
It would have
mind.
been redonkulous.
Yeah. Or if they even did like a Lord of the Rings thing where they did the trailer at the end.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Oh my God!
Can you imagine?
But they're having 2 films in between. They have to do Ant-Man and Wasp, and they're doing Captain Marvel.
Yeah.
Next spring.
But Marvel's a prequel, right?
Yeah, it is.
Or as some people say, prequel.
Yes.
Which drives me fucking nuts.
I'm sure it will tie in though because of what the ending.
One of many things.
Yes, that's a fact.
All right, so let's start out with Nerd Weeks, and the theme today is left to right. So Dante, please let me know what's going on. You had to make the L with your thumb and finger, didn't you?
I always have to.
I still love you, man.
Really, I mean, Infinity War, that was really my nerd week. That was kind of build up to that.
Well, we're not allowed to talk about that, so you better
I'm
fill
not
your 2 minute slot with something else, goddammit.
Bunch of it. I'm just saying, like, I mean, it was really kind of build up to it, just watching all the Marvel movies.
Or Black Phillip cursing inappropriately in front of children.
Yeah, damn it. I do have to thank you. And I have to thank you as well. So I got there super early, which I didn't think it was that early, but it was almost like too late to get the spots. It was me and my 3 kids. My wife couldn't go, so we sprinted up there, got the back row to lock down, and it was basically. And Black Phillip was there, so thank you, Black Phillip, for actually being there early for something for once. So it was like the 5 of us occupying like 18 seats we needed for everybody, with like jackets and stretching out among seats, and it was stressful as fuck. Like, I don't think I'm built for that shit, man. You know, because I don't want to get in an argument with somebody about these seats are reserved, and then like me having to like, no, you don't understand. You're not going to fucking sit there.
Yeah.
You know, I don't want to have to get in a fucking fist fight with a grown man over a fucking seat in front of my kids. Right. So, but Dante came, and I think you guys came as well. And Dante was good enough to go all the way to the end, far away from everybody, and lock that down, possibly sitting with like the 6 jabbering children the whole time, and was content until
didn't say a word.
and didn't say a word until Bobby and I were like, "Hey man, you can come sit. We got a spot over here for you. You can come sit with the adults and let the kids do their thing."
I'm going to be honest. It was more so because I was looking for a fight.
Yeah, well, that's what I was going to say. He was probably very content.
Yes.
I looked over at him and I was like, "There's not an ounce of stress on that man's face."
Yeah.
Also, when I was coming up this way, like I text Bobby, I was like, I'm almost there, like he was like, okay, we're there.
Yeah.
So we're here. And I thought he meant the theater because my idea was just to drive straight over and just go up and lock down seats.
Yeah.
Because again, like I don't have any sense. So I was like, I'm prepared to argue with people and just like, no, we're sitting back here. Like,
Don't make me use my angry voice.
Like, oh no, it's only you, my friend.
You mess with Ed, you're going to be dead.
And but yeah, in my head, I was like, all right, well, I'll go lock down some seats. Fuck it. And I don't know how many we got, but I'll lock down the whole back row and just tell people you got to go sit up there. There's a lot of seats somewhere else to sit in.
It worked out pretty well.
Somebody said something, pretty well. Smack the shit out of it.
It's not uncommon, at least back in the day, for us to get into disputes at the movie theater for big openings. Like I remember for episode 1, Brutus, like you. All right, so this is crazy. Episode 1, there was episode 1, 2, and 3 all had fights break out. So episode 1, there was a concession stand in the main hallway of the movie theater. Do you remember? Like there was a big concession thing out front, and you went back, and it had a little one, but nobody was there.
Yep,
it was unmanned. So Brutus jumped over the concession stand glass and got a drink in like some popcorn that had been sitting there since God knows when.
Yeah.
And like people started saying, he was like, "What?" and jumped back over and was like, "Who's got a problem with my snacks?" Like episode 2, I had a cyst on the back of my ear.
Yeah.
And I had his hat that said NUO on it.
Yeah.
And this guy behind me was talking to his buddy. I didn't hear him. He was like, "My hat says NUO and my earlobe's the size of a cantaloupe." And I didn't hear it. And my wife was like, "What the fuck did you just say?"
Yeah.
And I turned around and I was like, "What?" And she was like, "He just said," and like repeated. I don't even want to say it again. And I was like, and then like it was like a hornet's nest. These two poor lads.
That's not the only thing that happened then.
On episode 2?
Yeah.
What happened in episode 2?
Your brother.
That was episode 3.
I was there for that one though.
Yeah, but that was when we all rushed the line because we got in place. So we went with like 30 people, but only a few of us stood in line to get into the actual theater, and then we were going to lock down a row like we always do.
Yeah.
But this time when the line started to go in, Tug and all of them, like it was all of them, like came into the line.
Yeah.
And my brother,
he ain't got no sense either.
he has no sense.
Yeah.
And this like father behind us was like, "Hope you guys aren't butting in line." And my brother just turned around instantly and put his finger like right near the dude's face and was like, "Shut the fuck up, old man."
It was a little aggressive.
He's always way too much. That's why he was in prison this year.
Yeah. This is why, children listening, this is why he's not a contributing member to society.
Yes.
So, the moral of the story is don't
be like
that way.
Don't be like Tug.
I do remember, so I was like, I remember that incident. I'm like, God damn it, can't we just go to a fucking movie without drama?
Yeah, no.
That was fun.
I remember Stal passed out after episode 1. You remember that? We were just standing out in the parking lot, and he just fucking fell out.
I was like, dude, when were we driving him home that he was throwing up in the Saab? Do you remember that?
In Laura's Saab?
Yeah.
Oh, I do remember that. It was him and Trees. He got Hey, Laura, do you remember when Shane was throwing up out of the Saab, and we dropped him off, and we came back and picked him up later? What was that for?
I think it was at that vault. Is it the vault?
Maybe. But yeah, he was like, "Oh, I'm not feeling good." He got out of the Saab, he threw up in the middle of the street, and then he was like, "Just leave me, come back in a minute, I need some time." So like we went and did something else, like dropped off someone else, and then came back to him, and he was just in the middle of the street with like both arms out, like, "I'm back, bitches!" I talked to him this week, actually.
Oh, did you? Mm-hmm. Good. All right, back to you, Dante.
Oh shit!
All right, so your Tyler Perry fetish. We discussed that in the bonus track.
Sarah's Tyler Perry fetish.
So not to spoil, but there's a bonus track at the end of this. Nice 20 minutes of bliss you're gonna enjoy. So we're not going to go to Tyler Perry and your fascination with him.
But really just kind of watching the lead up movies to get into the mode for Infinity War. Just like the couple before, like Thor, Doctor Strange, Guardians, and Spidey. So that was all. I didn't really do shit.
Yeah. He ain't done shit. Phil.
Obviously, Infinity War.
What other hats did you buy this week?
I don't have any. Well, actually, I found a Batman hat that I.
But it actually has a brim on it. It's a baseball cap. No. It has the bat ears.
No, it's black and gray with a symbol on it. So
I don't like it, Phil.
I know it's far too.
Why isn't there a Batman hat with the Batman ears? I think
I'm sure there is. Yeah, there's got to be one out there.
He's like, whatever you did put his phone. He's like, no, look, it's into my closet.
I happen to be wearing a Sinister Six hat since there's no video.
Let me see the artwork on it, please, sir.
And the hat is split into six.
It's all the characters except it's Mark Bagley and Joe Quesada.
Okay.
Except I don't know who's doing the Electro. I don't think
that looks like Eric. No, is that Eric Larson? No, it's not.
No, it's not.
No,
like all the ones around are Bagley and Quesada.
Yep.
And they don't have Hobgoblin on there, but
don't like that shit.
Craven was the original.
It's fine. It's fine. Continue.
So I've seen Infinity War twice.
Nice.
Saw the Venom trailer.
Don't give spoilers about your interactions in the bonus track. Dude, I kind of want to let 15 minutes of silence go by before the bonus track starts to play.
Oh, old record style.
Old record style. You know what I mean? Like, how much of a fan are you?
Yeah.
Don't cheat and skip.
Yeah. I'll be hitting that 15-second button.
All right.
Dude, real quick, speaking of I never forget when I was working at Loading Dock. Real quick interjection. So this is I worked with all
another one. No problem.
I'm sorry. I'm hyped up right now.
You are hyped up.
All these
coffee I left.
That's my fourth.
What's in that vape juice?
That's my fourth cup this morning.
I might need a cup of coffee.
We can pause and get another cup. I'll get another cup right now.
That's a PCP laced.
Not for you, for me. So I can stay up. I can keep up.
So look, I worked with an entire workforce that was from East and West Baltimore.
Yeah.
So I was hyped because Star Wars was coming out. The only other person that's seen Star Wars on the dock was Shoulders.
Yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, Star Wars lame." I was like, "Dude, not lame. Awesome. Let's watch them. I'll bring them in here. We'll watch them during lunch breaks and etc." So I brought them and I made these guys watch Star Wars. And like some of them got into it. A lot of them like ended up walking out. Like, I'm not my thing. But like a fair amount got into it. There's one dude who got into it. And we were watching all of them, right? We made it all the way to episode 6, so we're on the last one at the time. And the Wicket pops up to get the little cracker from Leia.
Yeah.
He's like, look at that little monkey squirrel. and I started laughing. He was like, she gonna give him some food. And that was me. I kicked that little motherfucker right into the rocks like, bigot.
Shit, dude, that's awesome. I can't write that stuff, dude. That's awesome.
Manny.
Yeah.
Stop what you're doing. I want to see a monkey squirrel.
It could be your show symbol, man. Monkey squirrel.
Oh, she gonna feed him. That was me. I kicked him off a rip.
Monkey Squirrel needs to be a song sung by the Condor guys. You know what I'm saying?
Flight of the Conchords?
Yeah, Flight of the Conchords. You're running like a big monkey squirrel.
And he was like, what? Like his eyes were big, and he was like, that little creature. Like, what the fuck is that thing?
Anyway, Phil.
The only other thing,
Venom trailer. But you were a subject matter expert in the Venom trailer. And we will have a special section to focus on the accuracy of said Venom trailer, pros and cons.
We can get into that detail if you want. Sure.
I kind of feel like that trailer, I'm just going to say this, is like, uses a motorcycle as if Tom Cruise is in the film.
Yes, it does.
I
was disappointed with that.
A very Tom Cruise-esque utilization of motorcycles.
I was like, is this Mission Impossible?
Yeah.
I was like, this.
Speaking of which, that's a fucking franchise.
Oh, Jesus. God. Have you watched that last one?
No, I haven't watched the first one.
The last one has like a 35-minute climax. Like
it is very extended.
It's so much, and I'm like in there, and I mean it's not bad. Like the worst thing of the movie is him, but he's also okay. It's like that Jack Ryder movie. Like it was.
Oh, the Jack Ryan. I never saw those.
The Jack Ryder is it Ryder?
Jack
Reacher.
Ryan. Jack Reacher.
Reacher. Thank you.
Black people love bad movies.
I know.
Jack Reacher.
How would you know?
My cousin loves it.
Is it a real cousin? I say that to a guy that says everybody's my brother.
Yeah. But that last one, it's like this nuclear bomb is about to go off, and then something else, and they're like fighting in this fucking electric parking garage that parks vehicles vertically.
Oh yeah.
And it goes on forever, and it's like to the last like 10th of a second before everything fucking blows up. It's just too much, and it was like that for like the last 30 minutes of the movie. And like I don't understand. Is he funding these movies himself?
No, but he's doing all the stunts.
I was just gonna say it. That's what annoys me about it.
What's that?
It's like everybody's go-to thing with fucking Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
But you know,
Jackie Chan did his own stunts.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but Thomas Cruise performs all of his own stunts.
Yeah, which actually makes the movie worse because it delays the shit out of it and puts people out of their jobs.
Yeah, and I'm like, I don't care.
Yeah.
I don't care.
He's an old man now. He needs to stop doing that.
Yeah, because he broke his ribs or some shit on one of those scenes.
Every film he does his own and delays every single film, and people end up losing money.
Yeah,
there's only one movie.
And you know what happens then? Certain people can't shave their goddamn mustaches for reshoots.
Oh, that's one reason I want to see the new one, because I want to see the mustache in action that we had to suffer through, and
there's only one movie I would watch with Tom Cruise in it.
What's that?
And that's if he played a modern hero in a post-apocalyptic world, which is kind of still vogue today.
Yeah.
Scrounging to get by, using his natural resources and tools in order to such and such, and the whole movie slowly builds up with him on this hero's journey to finally, with sword and scabbard, confront the evil warlord Xenu, man to man, and really,
I'm like you're kind of describing Oblivion,
art imitating life or life imitating art.
I will say one thing that Henry Cavill in that scene. When like he like rolls his shoulder to start getting in a fight,
and
looks fucking badass. Yeah, it looks fucking badass. I'm like, God damn, dude, you look fucking badass.
Yeah, he's Superman with a mustache.
Yeah, my panties got a little moist there. I'm not gonna lie. It's a fact. Anything else?
I was just excited.
I managed to get something I was looking for: the Infinity War Marvel Legends Toys R Us exclusive, the Scarlet Witch and Vision.
Mm-hmm. Two-pack. You get a deal on it?
Yeah. I mean, it's 20% off. They wouldn't do the full 40 for that because it's popular.
Dude, not for nothing. There is a replica of the Infinity Gauntlet, right?
There's a Hot Toys.
There's a couple.
Yeah, how much
versions.
is it?
$1,000.
Oh my god, that might be worth it.
Yeah.
The
Marvel Legends one is $100.
I might no. I need that shit to be.
I know you want the high end one.
I want the fucking glow and be actual size.
When you got that glow, your power's grown. You got that glow. It's the power of meditation.
Dude, that movie is awesome.
Fuck!
That movie is awesome. Goddamn. Show enough, it's awesome.
Bruce Leroy.
I know, right? Anyway, Bobby.
Dude, I had a good week.
Yeah.
I got my CDL.
Oh,
congratulations.
Can I say congratulations again?
Can you say congratulations? Let's see what else. I watched Ragnarok. My wife was disgusted with the jokes. But I'll tell you, like, the third act of that movie is solid as fuck.
Yeah, definitely.
It's a shame that the first two are not on the same level. And there's a lot of potential that's thrown away with the whole Loki taking over Asgard and all that. Like, it's truly unfortunate. Let's see. So I had this young lad over today.
Yeah.
Everybody out there, relax. So
I came down. He was strapped to the bed.
Take it easy. So there's a neighbor, and she has a son, and this poor kid is a big Star Wars fan.
Yeah.
And he's catching a lot of grief for it at school, and he's a little fella.
How old is he? 12?
Yeah,
11?
yeah, 12.
Okay.
And he's having a rough go at it, and like she's telling me this story, it's kind of fucking breaking my heart. Like this, like, you know, they know he's having a rough go at it. So he comes downstairs in this like Chewbacca hoodie, and they were like, the parents, you know, are like, good morning, you know, is that what we're gonna wear today? And he's like, yeah. He's like, you sure you want to wear that? Because they know he's getting a hard time. And he's like, yeah, I don't care. I love Chewbacca. You know, and I'm like, come here, you come here.
You made me cry.
Yeah. So I reached out and I was like, look, send that kid over to my house. I'll show him my collection. Let him see that you can be a thriving adult and with a normal life and still be into this shit. And and I'll also give him some words of encouragement regarding and she was very open to it, and I didn't know if she was going to be because we've been neighbors for some time, so she's seen...
So she knows about you.
Exactly. So, like, I can see her being like, don't tell this kid to hurt anyone. Hey!
I need a vote.
All right.
A vote?
Yeah. So...
Is this the Skull Fest? Hold on, let's do this properly. All right. All right, folks. For our...
Well, so we're doing Mexican for dinner.
We're doing a Mexican theme here at Skull Fest 2018.
So we're going to have like meat and sides and beans and rice and all that stuff, but I was thinking about doing one or both of these casseroles.
So a chicken tamale casserole or a beef enchilada casserole would be the two options.
I don't fuck with either, so...
Really?
I think whatever's the least spicy.
Not spicy.
Yeah, I prefer not spicy just because spiciness tears me up.
But we're going to have... jalapeno.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can have all
Tostitos with some
Put those on the list.
Tostitos.
I would
nacho
suggest
cheese dip.
the beef enchilada. I think that'll be the common denominator that people would enjoy.
Yeah,
tamales are... I love tamales. Like, not for
I'm
me
not a tamale
personally.
fan, so.
Yeah. Sometimes peppers,
Do you know?
You know what? I actually crossed my mind. I was like, these people are all staying at my house, and I'm gonna feed them all.
Oh man, your pipes are gonna be...
Did you?
Sure, everybody.
You guys should get...
Every bathroom has a plunger.
Did you?
You guys should rent a porta john for the backyard.
Did you look at the forecast for Saturday?
Oh,
Yeah, it's nice.
No rain, 70 degrees.
really?
Perfect.
And
awesome.
did you also look at it for Mexico as well? Chili today, hot tamale.
You're a fool.
Oh, man, you need the drum kit down here. Put it on bumps.
So where were we?
This young lad.
Oh, yes, young lad.
So he was so he came over and showed him the collection. He was like, like, oh my god, like, how long have you been into And he brought like a little collector case over like his stuff, and they're all like he has like the original
vintage
like Star Wars, like with their weapons and everything, and
In the
Vader case.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Yeah.
they're like pristine looking too.
Yeah, they were great.
Yeah.
So
He's on his way to being the next Bobby Skullface.
So I was telling him, I was like,
Poor,
man,
poor soul.
yeah, no, you don't be anything remotely close to me, please. Ask any of my loved ones. But I was just showing him around, and I was telling him like, look, man, like, and I have a community that I'm a part of, and we're all friends, and like.
Well, that's not how the conversation started. You walked down and you went like this, and you were like, you looked at him and you said, "Can you say
congratulations?" When Adam came downstairs, he looked at me like, "What the fuck?" Because I had this kid on one knee, and I was like, "Henceforth, you shall be known."
No, actually,
Lightning crackling around.
Laura gave me the heads up before I went downstairs. But had I walked downstairs,
so anyway, like, I was like, look, I was like, this school shit, like, I told him, I was like, look, dude, it's gonna get worse before it gets better.
Yeah.
I'm here to tell you.
Definitely.
And I was like, but it doesn't last forever.
Yeah.
And it's a fucking reset button as soon as you're out of it. And I was like, dude, never sacrifice who you are for this shit. Like, be who you are, be passionate, do what you want to do, man, and be comfortable in your own skin, because there's a lot of people that can't say that, myself included.
and not for nothing, at your 10-year high school reunion, all the cool kids are going to be fucking losers.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Well, you say that, and then I get instantly sad when I show up with my mop buckets one of these fucking
I was talking about you.
So that was a pretty cool thing.
Yes. Oh, it's not working. Damn.
No?
Fuck, bro.
Oh, maybe your gains aren't up for the effects.
No, I don't know. It doesn't matter.
This is gone.
Yeah.
But it was cool. I was like, look, man, like, my door's open. If you got something you're going through, like, and you're like, man, should I either talk to Mr. Bobby about this or shoot up a school? Oh, no, I'm sorry.
Dang. Hard left.
Too soon.
But seriously, I think, well, let me say this. Obviously, that's meant as a joke, but I think that a lot of these kids don't know how to communicate, don't know who to talk to.
Oh,
don't
no,
feel
you're
like they
you're
have
absolutely right.
anyone
Yeah.
to talk to.
Yeah.
And if I could be that for somebody, I mean, this kid's nonviolent.
No,
but
no.
they say that about all these fucking kids.
Yeah.
He's
But
such a nice kid.
yeah, exactly. But if I could be there for somebody, I'd be more than happy to do so. I got Hot Toys Daredevil, and I got to say,
I don't like his boots.
So let me say this.
Is it just me, or does his boots feel way off?
See, I don't like how high his belt is. Like Grandpa Devil, am I right?
Yeah, I can see that.
But it's also accurate. But anyway, I gotta say, it's probably the least excited I've ever been about getting one. Like when I got him out of the box. However, it might display better than all of them just because of that little extra piece to have one leg up on. Like it just gives it a whole.
I do like his base,
yeah.
but his boots feel like too off the shelf for me. You know
Off
what I
the
mean?
shelf?
He's like, oh, I need to finish this outfit. Let me just go buy a pair of boots.
Yeah, I think they're accurate though.
Yeah,
I get that. So you're not talking about the toy necessarily. You're talking about the design.
Yes.
Yeah. I get you. And I got the Anakin as well.
It looks like he has the same boot sole as the Punisher, but the Punisher can pull it off. I think he maybe should have Bane's boots. Maybe I don't know. I'm looking around at Flip Gear. God damn your effects on me, Tyler.
Let's see what else.
Speaking of Tyler, shout out to Tyler. He came out of his cubby and joined us in our chat here recently, which I was glad to hear.
Yeah, it's good to hear.
Yeah.
Oh, look, so
and
I
engage
got
in some conversation.
So I got this CDL story, right?
Okay.
And it's a good one. Are you ready?
I'll allow it.
Okay, so I show up, and people that I know that have taken that exam were like, look, there's a black dude that's cool as shit. There's a black chick that's cool as shit. And there's a mean old white lady. And as long as you don't get the mean old white lady, you'll be fine. So I walk in through the front doors, and I have spidey sense for mean old white ladies. It's like it's something to do with my mother, I'm sure. And my eyes instantly dart to her. And I told the guy I was with, I was like, that's her. There's no doubt in my fucking mind, that's her. So she's working today. Mm-hmm. So strike one. Mm-hmm. So they said, go sit over there. Okay, I'm sitting over there. Mean old white lady walks into like the CDL evaluator room. And then the cool black chick walks into the evaluator room. Ooh. So I'm like 50-50. 50-50. My luck being what it is, the mean old white lady comes out with a clipboard.
Of course.
And she says, now there's a guy that I was with, he has a truck. So that's whose truck I was using. And the guy that I was with said, oh no.
Oh damn.
and I was like, oh God. So she walks up and her first words to me, not good morning, not how are you, none of that. Your truck is backwards. Go turn it around the right way.
Oof.
Dang. Okay. Now keep in mind, there's no arrows, there's no indicator, there's no any sort of direction as to where. I put it in a spot that I was like, this looks like an appropriate place.
Yeah.
So I'm like, okay, you got it. I went out there and turned it around. I came back. So we're walking out. She's like, you have 45 minutes to successfully complete this walk around inspection. At that point, we will transition to this, like, I'm like, oh my God. So we get over there and she's like, was there anything you'd like to say or ask before we get started? And I said, well, you are extremely intimidating and I am extremely nervous. So if I throw up, I'm going to attempt to turn my head in the opposite direction so it doesn't get on your shoes or lower pant. And she said, begin.
Damn, dude.
Can't crack that frosty exterior.
So I get started. I'm not like I have this thing like this, this rhythm I get into. I'm like looking in the windshield, making sure it's not illegal stickers, making sure it's clean, making sure it's not cracked, broken, damaged, or loose, making sure that it's this and that, and I'm making sure it's an operable condition. She says, "Stop saying operable condition. It's meaningless terms. Tell me how it's operable."
And like you had this like speech
prepared.
It's like a 25-minute speech that you did every day.
Yes, 3 times a day
for everybody.
3 times a day.
Yeah.
So I was like, I just stopped saying operable. I just cut it out. There was times where I said everything I had to say about something, and she'd be like, "What else?" Ooh. And I'd be like, "It's red." Wow. Wow. And so we continue through, we get in, and then we're checking all the inside stuff. And then I'm like, I'm now going to begin my air brake test. This lady climbs up into the middle section of the vehicle that we're in, perched like a little bird to watch my every movement. Like, to climb up to get in this position. And I'm like, holy
Is this like Danny DeVito as the penguin?
Yeah, but she's not. She wasn't like extraordinarily heavy, but she's just she's short.
Yeah,
and she's like it's a big vehicle, and she's just you can like hear like the
grinding of her bones,
the clipboard, like, and she's like banging it against things to like get into the position, and so I do that, and then she's like, go over between those 2 cones and wait for me. in the vehicle. Mm-hmm. Now I look over there. There's 4 cones. And like, I hate direction like that, dude. I hate when people are like, could you grab me that book? Like, there's 30 fucking books over there. Mm-hmm. You know,
at least.
Yeah. So like, I'm like, I said to her, I was like, there's 4 cones, or there's 6 cones. She's like, the middle ones. You got it? Yes, ma'am. Okay. Wow. So I go over there. She's like, you will now begin your skills examination. You will back up 100 feet. You will At the end of each exercise, you will place the vehicle in park and sound your street horn. This is how I will know you were finished. I said, okay. So I did the first thing. Second thing. Third thing. And she looked at me like, well. And I was like, oh, sorry. And I went, damn, dude. Yeah, so then we went out on the road where like that's the final portion of the test. You're driving around, and she was, on me on that too. And then about halfway through, she said, well, you didn't throw up. And I said, yet. And that's the first time she cracked a smile. So we finally got back to the course, and she was like, you will have a restriction on your license. And I was like, okay. She was like, you will only be able to operate commercial B vehicles with automatic transmissions. And I said, so I passed. She said, you wouldn't be sitting in that seat had you not.
God damn.
And I was like,
that must feel like you extra passed dealing with her.
Yeah. So I was like, okay, I get that you take this very seriously. And I respect that.
And I don't take anything seriously.
And I was like,
per se.
And I also get the impression that you're not much of a hugger. But I'm telling you, I'm getting out of this vehicle, and I'm coming over there, and I'm giving you a hug. I went over there, and I fucking hugged this old lady.
And you were still waiting for the sexual harassment paperwork.
I have a long history of hugging mean old ladies. Yeah, started when I was very young.
Did you cry a little bit and go, Mommy?
Dude, I nestled my head on her shoulder. I was like, tell me you always wanted a girl.
And we come back to the Billy J bit.
No, but seriously, I laugh because it hurts.
And I try to fill the hole with plastic.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. I'm trying to think about other things. I know there was some. I'm starting to work on more dioramas, and I'm trying to get a couple of other things in line. But if something comes up and I recall it, I'll bring it up. I saw a movie called Anesthesia.
Not to be confused with Anastasia?
Correct.
Okay.
And it was it's a rough watch, but it was good. It's a heavy drama, and there's like 3 different stories, and they seem disconnected, and then they all kind of converge at one kind of tragic point. And it's worth watching if you're looking for something heavy to watch. But I've been watching, Captain Fantastic, and both been good. It's been a nice change between just explosions and tights and flights and such. And then, of course, Infinity War, which we'll get into.
Yep.
And I may have lost my wallet again, but more on that later.
Again?
Yeah. I think it fell out of my pocket during Infinity War.
Wow.
Oh.
Yeah.
Did you call the theater?
Yes, but they didn't answer.
Oh.
Maybe I should call them. I'll call them right now.
Let's call them right now.
Yeah.
You call them right now. Do you have any money in there?
No. Credit cards and such, but nothing's been used.
Have tickets for Solo gone on sale yet?
No.
No, but Deadpool 2 has, and I have not purchased yet.
Hello! I'm in Holland! It's rubbish! It's just cheese and such.
Oh, dude, what the fuck, bro?
So when Infinity War, this is not a spoiler, but the quote you always do, did you do it when the movie was going on? I'm just curious because we weren't sitting next to each other. Yeah, the Chadwick Boseman Black Panther quote.
Oh, yeah. I tapped you.
What did you say?
That evacuate the city.
Yeah.
Engage your defenses. And get this man a shield. Dude, that shit is fucking... All right, we'll get into it. We'll get into it later.
That's not really a spoiler.
All right.
So, I had a pretty good week. It's been fucking busy. Busy as shit. But one thing I did is... You know, like you want to let go of something, you want to get rid of sell something. Mm-hmm. So there's like a table of modals in my basement of these modals that I need to fucking get rid of. Mm-hmm. And in the conversation Sunday after game day, I saw one, and was like, hey man, you can have this one. And I was like, wait a minute, I can use this for something. And then I repurposed it, which was always a pretty good thing. Was watching this Korean movie last night with my wife. We got about halfway through it.
Aren't you cultured?
No, it's a comic book movie. It was like a Netflix original, but it's a Netflix original Korean movie.
I feel like I'm watching a Korean movie in real life sometimes.
What's it called? I think
it's like Psychonauts or Psycho something.
I think I've seen it.
Anyway,
a bunch of strings tied together that can strangle you at will.
That's not what it is at all. That's inaccurate. Yeah, it's about this abandoned father who the mother of his child gets murdered by this like company. Mm-hmm. Like it's basically this literally hostile takeover. Like they're breaking into her store, trying to pull her out to demolish it so they can do this big project, and she accidentally gets murdered. Like she's pulled out of a vehicle and breaks her neck. Okay. And so as she's dying, like there's this comet that is flying to Earth, and like you see her crying, the comet hits the ground, and it has some kind of strange energy, and it goes through the ground. It ends up the father happens to drink water out of this natural spring, and it fucks with him. Water. But anyway, it gives him telekinesis. But like it gives him like fucking like do you remember what is that movie with the three kids get telekinesis? Chronicles. Chronicles time 1,000,000 power level. Like, you know, don't make me
Tetsuo.
No.
More.
Yeah, like don't make me like crush the moon from here.
Oh, wow.
That's like Jean Grey.
Yeah.
Dark Phoenix.
I'm not finished it yet, so but like that's how it starts to look like. So we got about halfway through. We were just fucking exhausted, so we couldn't do it. So I do want to finish that tonight. Of course, Infinity War, which I fucking loved, and then I also went back. The kids wanted to watch Doctor Strange, and you had just watched it and wasn't really impressed by it. I actually think it's good. Yeah, I really like I think all the acting is really good. Like
I want to be clear. I don't think it's bad. Yeah. I just don't like it.
Okay. Like I think when it comes down to it is Marvel has successfully taken kind of goofy properties and got a pass on them. You know what I mean? Like,
oh, definitely.
It's goofy as fuck, but it's done in such a good way. I'm kind of like still astonished how much it works. You know, like there are a couple things with the cape.
Go ahead. I'm sorry.
There are a couple things with the cape when the cape's like pulling him backwards and wants him to grab that like rack thing.
Yeah.
So that's a little bit much. And Mr. Doctor, what is that?
I wish Dormammu looked different in that because he looks better. He looks way more impressive and fearsome in the comics. But
I didn't mind it, and also I didn't realize watching it a second time that you saw a glimpse of Dormammu in the very like introduction scene.
When she puts him through all the dimensions, you do see him.
You're such a fucking ham, dude. You're such a fucking ham.
I was like, he's pulling out the raisin.
Dude, the raisin with the sunglasses was by far the coolest.
Yeah, definitely.
Can we agree on that?
Yeah. Of course.
He was supposed to be Ray Charles.
Yeah.
So, but no, I enjoyed it. The kids liked it.
I hate Dormammu in it. I fucking hate it. I fucking hate it. I like the trickster element to beating him.
Yeah.
You know, I dig that. I just
the conceptual thing you didn't like.
Too far. It's too far.
Would you want the body with the flaming head?
Yes.
Really?
Yeah, I'd love to see
that looks
the
cooler than the big
version
head
from the '90s was the really coolest looking version.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, like I mean, I think that's a cool character design.
Yeah.
But I just don't think look. I think Doctor Strange is a well put together movie and a well told story. Mm-hmm. I just don't care for it.
Yeah.
Like I love the first act. Like it has like
I think the second act is good.
It has real grit that I appreciate. But I just don't. It has no replay value for me. And it's something I've been thinking about. I think we should do a Patreon show just about that. About now with this, initial end cap. How do we feel about it all? You know, and watching them all back to back, I do feel like a lot. I don't want to get fucking Twittered to death over this shit, but like I do feel like they are great because the sum of their parts, not because of the individual releases.
And I don't think that's a bad thing.
I don't either. There's a lot of movies that I was watching and I was like, I don't really enjoy this. I enjoy what it adds to the big picture.
Yeah.
And I think that it is I've been saying this for a while, and my experience with Infinity War has kind of solidified this for me. I think it is a new type of media. You know, like as the difference between comic books and written novels. You know what I mean? Like they're both a pulp medium where you go left to right, and there's letters. You know, yeah, left to right, Dante. But what traditional 2-hour films or 90-minute films have been in the past, and what Marvel has done, we need to somehow segregate our expectations for those and have new expectations. Especially as this thing keeps going, and and we'll talk about the numbers here soon too, because it's fucking crazy. Yeah. So, I'm trying to think anything else that went by. I talked about that Lost in Space last week, and I haven't really watched anything else. So I think I'm done. Let's get into some news.
All right. Should we
our next section, comic book news?
Should we recap any of the stuff that we didn't really get a chance to dig into last week?
Yes.
Maybe some high notes.
Since we're saying that, let me stop this and start recording again. Yeah. So just so you guys know, we had a tremendous time trying to get the podcast to work last week.
And we had a really,
it was really good.
Most of the Star Wars conversation did it stay?
Cool.
I did go back and listen.
So we there was probably 40 minutes that we tried to record twice. Like we went through it got erased. We went through it again, it got erased again. So it was fucking maddening. And like right now, we're actually brought in my laptop because the computer we've been using kind of shit the bed. We had to upgrade it, and you can help us upgrade it by going to Patreon, supporting your favorite podcast. And
it was a short show only because we literally ran out of time from re-recording multiple segments over.
We had to go back and do actual responsible shit.
But
so. And the funny thing is the name of the episode was originally going to be, is it Mac Daddy Mac? And it became Mac Issues.
Daddy Mac Issues.
Because the Mac fucking failed. You know what I mean? Like, I wonder if the Mac thought we were talking shit about it as we were recording the podcast. Took it personally and it was like, oh yeah?
So we lost Lee Ermey.
Yeah, R. Lee Ermey.
R. Lee Ermey.
Yep.
Bummer.
Yeah.
But you know.
Yep. First name is actually Raphael.
Best thoughts to his family and friends, and his performance in fucking Full Metal Jacket will live on forever, no doubt about it. Allison Mac, Daddy Mac.
Yep.
Now, let's read about this a little bit because Dante just became alert.
Yeah. First off, Dante, did you ever have a crush on Allison Mack back in the day? Little Chloe action.
Oh yeah, I like her. She's cute.
She can get it.
Oh yeah, fuck yeah,
man.
And if there's one thing that Dante enjoys, it's a sex cult.
Yeah.
Fuck yes.
So, Smallville actress Allison Mack was arraigned on Friday at a federal courthouse in New York.
Friday before last.
Following her arrest on sex trafficking and conspiracy to commit forced labor charges as part of an alleged sex cult. Fox News confirmed Friday. The 35-year-old was last seen in March running after reported cult leader Keith Rainier as police hauled him away from a $10,000 a week Mexican villa where the pair had reportedly been hiding out. I have no comment on the arrest this afternoon of Allison Mack, a rep for the Star told Fox News, but the New York Post reported that Mack pleaded not guilty. Rainier, the co-founder of the self-help organization and alleged cult NXIVM, I Need You to Know, stands accused of keeping numerous women as slaves and branding his initials into their skin. He was arraigned last week on the same charges as Mack and was denied bail as he awaits his next court appearance on April 27th. Mack appeared in Smallville.
For 10 years.
Did it say anything about the chick who played Lana? She was tied to that as well.
Yes. So now she has said that she was a part of it, but she's also said that it was no weird shit when she was a part of it.
That was 5 years. That was 5 years ago. No, she was part of the self-help thing because she was over shy.
Mm-hmm.
But not the sex bit.
No, I'm fucking shy too, but I'm not joining sex cults.
Yeah. So, yeah, that's interesting. Oh, speaking of Smallville, that did remind me. I have been watching Lucifer, and Tom Welling is in Lucifer right now. He's actually Cain and Abel.
Oh, interesting.
So it's a little funny how this is going on.
It is funny.
Smallville actually just popped up on Hulu last week, right around when that news broke.
I bet it's getting plays now.
Oh, it's gross.
Yeah.
For the days I wasn't able, there was always Cain.
Oh man. So yeah, and you had a great bit that we lost about the NXS.
Yes,
and NXX,
and how that's a beautiful man.
Yeah, and that you joined his sex cult.
I would join his sex cult for sure. And I think that I Need You Tonight actually sounds like sex in a music format. Let's see what else we got here. It finally looks good to me. This is the Deadpool trailer.
Yeah. It's fucking awesome.
What are our thoughts about that? What about you guys? You guys?
Yeah. Phil?
I'm interested in it. I still don't like Domino's look.
I think she's sexy though.
Yeah, she is
for
sexy.
sure.
And
For
like,
sure.
But
I'm down with that. Like I'm feeling it. You know,
What
like-
about Shatterstar? You think he looks like a dickhead?
But I think he always looks like a dickhead.
Yeah, but you can
Finally.
draw a dickhead better than a dickhead actually looks in real life.
Yeah.
I have plenty of textbooks to prove
I
it.
kind of feel that his.
Dude, I drew mad dicks, son.
Dude, speaking of mad dicks, I do feel like my eyes are drawn to his crotch for whatever reason. I don't know what that is.
Really?
Yeah.
I keep drawing. My eyes are drawn to his face. I'm trying to get a read on all that business. The red hair.
I think I don't want to look at it because it looks too weird. So my eye naturally falls down. Like, oh god, now I'm looking at this midriff.
it seems interesting that Deadpool is forming X-Force and Cable is the guy they're going after.
You know what? I never thought about that.
Interesting switch.
Yeah, that's funny.
Because that's completely different from the comics.
Yeah, I'm not sure how I feel about the Cable being the kind of the villain.
Yeah.
I'm sure it'll be twisted.
Of course.
Yeah.
But the one part that you and I both agree that is great is the you're in.
Yeah, and dude, it's the head bob. He's just like he kind of dips his head down, like you're in.
Like it's like
Yeah, like,
of
you know,
course.
like
if there was anyone that's
obviously.
yeah, like if there's anyone suited for this job, it's obviously you.
Yeah. I mean, like he has become such a physical actor in this.
Yeah.
I gotta tip my hat to him.
Let me ask you guys a question. I'll pose it to all three. Is do you think you're so dark? You're from the DC universe. Do you think that will be in the film, or do you think that's a voiceover for the trailer?
That's a good question.
You know what, man? I can see that being on the cutting room floor just for time.
Well, I think that scene might be in it, but he might just be saying something different.
Yeah.
That too.
That's true.
That too.
Yeah.
Because it's probably one of those things where he does ad lib takes.
Yeah,
and he'll do,
exactly.
like
And put
15
in
different
one,
takes.
yeah.
Do 1,000 different things.
Yeah.
Also, what about that guy getting charged for like a bomb threat or something from?
Oh yeah, his Miller, whatever his little
TJ Miller, yeah.
And then there's also that promotional thing with him and Hugh Jackman in the hotel room.
dude.
It's pretty great.
It's
pretty great.
singing show tunes. I'm looking and I'm liking all my favorite things.
Ryan Reynolds in bed. Hugh Jackman.
Looking like he just got out of the shower.
Yep. Show tunes.
Dude, I think. What do you want from that? I mean, everybody agrees that having Hugh Jackman in the movie would be good, but how much of him?
I don't
Do you
know.
want him to be Wolverine? Do you want to see claws?
Yeah, I think if he's in it, I want it to be Wolverine.
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so too.
Okay, Dante.
And if he's going to be in it as Wolverine, I want to see a whole. I just want it to be kind of a nod, like almost like a cameo, like a little bit,
Like a
Stan Lee.
post credit scene?
No.
No.
During the actual
Okay,
movie.
okay.
And I want a Stan Lee moment.
Okay.
Yeah,
okay.
basically where he says like some quip to Deadpool, like you've always been an asshole, Wade,
Yeah.
something like that.
Yeah.
Just cuts his head off and rolls out.
I like it. I like it.
But I am now on board for this movie.
Yeah.
I
That's
have not been
coming
on
soon.
board until this trailer. This
Yeah.
trailer is the one that has finally grabbed me.
Good.
Who is Terry Crews supposed to be? Is in the actual
Bedlam.
Is he from the comics?
I don't know. I don't know
He's
the character.
it was Age of Apocalypse. That's where
really?
he debuted.
I don't know.
Because when I saw it, they're like Bellum, what? And then I started reading a little bit more, and they're like, yeah, he debuted in the Age of Apocalypse storyline.
Oh,
and,
Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah, like the.
Sorry.
No
So-
cerebral palsy jokes.
But yeah,
I love Terry Crews, so
Yeah,
It's
I'm
about
excited
time
to
they
see
got
him
him in a
there.
comic movie.
yeah, hell yeah, man. I hope we get his signature titty twitch. You know what I'm saying?
It's true. No, we are.
You know what I mean?
And it finally looks good to me, honestly, just in time to be sold. So it does look like this Marvel buyout is going to happen, this Disney buyout. It's being said that X-Men and Fantastic Four at Marvel Studios is already a done deal and is just awaiting the approval of the merger between Disney and Fox. Someone claiming to have attended a speaking engagement with some high-level Fox production crew members offered the following regarding it. X-Men Dark Phoenix will be the last Fox Marvel movie and the last in the franchise continuity. It's further said the crew behind this movie has already been thanked for their services, which I find especially funny and won't be needed whenever. Let's just say that shit from now on. Yeah. Anytime anybody does anything that's like such small potatoes,
thank you for your service.
Yeah. Hey, can you pass me the
I'm grateful for your services.
Hey, pass me that cup of the creamer. Oh, thank you for your service.
I think if they say services.
Thank you for your services. Yes.
Yeah. It needs to be plural.
So Fox is already planning Phase 4 to involve X-Men and Deadpool.
Yeah.
Wow.
And Fantastic Four. And that is the saving grace, in my opinion.
Yeah.
That breathes entire new life into that franchise. You can run that franchise for another 10 years easily with Fantastic Four and X-Men.
Yeah.
And you could honestly do it with either or.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So and you know what's interesting about all of that? And we're not going to get into Infinity War too much, though, but I think that how they executed Infinity War now leaves them open to do whatever.
Yeah, the only thing that bothers me, like I said, no spoilers, is how Spider-Man webbed up Thanos' eyes and then pulled his pants down and pushed him over Thor, who was bent over on all fours behind him. Like, that was trash. It's not known how the Fox Marvel characters will become part of the MCU yet, or what actors they will use. The person also claims that Dark Phoenix is indeed getting reshot, and he got the impression that Fox Studios isn't happy with the writer-director, as he did not plan ahead enough during the actual shoot for this eventuality, so it's incumbent upon the digital effects department to rebuild entire sets that had already been scrapped.
Ooh. That means it still might be on the chopping block. It's never happened.
It's possible.
Question though, when's Gambit coming out?
They're waiting for after the
merger.
Dude, what if Fox kept just Gambit?
Oh, dude, I would just do a whole YouTube video, finding an appropriate ladder, climbing to the top of my roof, and screaming until I couldn't scream anymore.
There's
and then crying as much as you want.
As much as I want. Just collapse in my own tears and filth.
There was an older article, probably about a month or so ago, maybe older article. They're talking about Fox is trying to rush out all these projects before this merger was finalized. They're like, because Dark Phoenix had been pushed back. They're like, yeah, we got to do some reshoots. They're like, but also in the works is Gambit,
right?
Multiple Man movie. There's
enough.
There's all types of like crazy movies.
I don't even want a Multiple Man comic. Too late. I know. But you know what I'm saying? Like, I guess who hasn't read that piece of shit?
But
I'm sure it's great.
I think that was just.
Was it written by me?
I was just going to say that.
Yeah. I think it was kind of like that panic mode of like, all right, let's get all this shit done.
Your face turns so red.
It's gonna turn into the Red Hulk.
God.
All right.
Sorry about that.
But it was being said that they're trying to fast forward all these projects to try to get them done. Like, think about what they're like trying to do, though. It's like, well,
let's get all this shit out.
Yeah, that merger, this little bit we got invested in
straight to DVD.
Like the merger.
It's a 2-pack, Gambit and Dark Phoenix. Like, and for every 2-pack you buy, you get one free that stripper movie he did. Magic Mike.
Oh God.
Oh God.
Okay. Compose ourselves.
Perfect.
Continue.
But yeah, basically, there at one point it was being said that they're trying to rush all this shit out just because I guess the merger's supposed to be like finalized like early 2019. They're like, just fucking make it all happen. They're talking about like, all right, get into production. Because if we get into production, then we can make it happen.
Right.
Doesn't sound like that's really the case now.
I think Fox had also canceled the Bill Cosby special. So it might be going to Netflix. I don't know.
And it was actually a Christmas special. And it took place in the Star Wars universe of the Christmas special. The Wookiees came in like, rah, 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 rah. He's like, oh, booger de boop boop boop.
But if Bill Cosby ever offers you eggnog in his Christmas special, don't accept it.
Dude, pass. Hard
Now,
pass.
if he offers you a badass sweater, accept that.
Accept the
Yeah, the
sweater.
sweaters, you know.
Dude, there's 2 badass sweater wearers. 3, I'll give Kanye West half a point. Mr. Rogers and fucking Bill Cosby.
Yeah, man, yeah. But yeah, that post Friday or Thursday, like I guess Bill Cosby won't be going to see Infinity War. Oh, how do y'all feel about that, man? About the Bill Cosby bit.
It's almost.
I saw an interview with Sinbad, which was interesting on the whole tip. Yeah.
Yeah, he's kind of defends him, right? Like I mean, doesn't defend the act, doesn't defend this. Just
his point is,
it's not that he doesn't make him out to be a monster.
No, his point is that it's kind of the same thing that Chappelle did. Like, even if this shit is 100% accurate, which I never think anything is. I think there's always 2 sides of the story. Not that there's a way to justify drugging and raping people. I'm not saying
of course
that.
Not.
You know. Dante's like, maybe.
This is why we don't do video.
Yes.
Are you listening, Raul?
Yeah.
This is why.
But I do think that Bill Cosby did a lot for like black colleges. He did a lot for education.
I mean, like he is probably of the 80s the most long-term, consistent, positive black male role model in mainstream media.
I mean, not only
would you agree?
I agree with that.
And not only a role model,
dad.
Yeah. He's America's
Yeah, he's
dad.
America's dad.
It's not even and that's what I want to point out. Like, I feel like Bill Cosby was my dad.
I wanted to be a Huxtable.
Yeah.
Who didn't?
Yeah,
Like,
Bill Cosby.
That house seemed like
somebody to look up
even when
to
you got
when I was
a
a
cavity,
kid.
it was fun.
I'm gonna be honest. Like Sarah and I was just talking about this the other night.
Yeah.
She was like, I love the Cosby Show growing up.
Yeah.
And I told her, I was like, honestly, me personally hated it.
Really?
And the thing is, though, so
Oh, I know where this is going to a dark place. I got you. Go ahead. I got you.
so it's like, and it was a good show, and it had a lot of positive to it.
Yeah.
And for that, I love that. That's awesome. I couldn't relate though, and I'm not saying people should hate the show or fuck Cosby Show. It just wasn't for me.
Yeah,
it's like I see you got a doctor with mom was a lawyer.
Yep.
You got these 2 doctor and a lawyer. Big house. all these kids and everything. You have your regular problems.
Yeah.
For me seeing that, it. Like I would get, not upset, but just like, damn, dude, like that's awesome for them. That fucking sucks for me. Like, I watch Good Times and I could relate to that because it's like, oh shit, like they ain't got nothing to. Like that's.
Well,
got nothing to.
let me say, I wasn't. My parents weren't a doctor or lawyer, but I did feel like his ethics in that show and his character, as still being a flawed individual, he wasn't perfect, but he still had this strong character that I think conveyed to young people of like this is the way you should act. Now, if he was doing something different in his,
Personal life.
In his personal life, but like I will say this that Sinbad, I was watching this thing with Sinbad, and like I'm like, dude, like I'm not trying to justify anything. I think that if everything he said was true, it's disgusting. You shouldn't, that's fucking horrible, and he should be punished for those actions, regardless if he's 80 years old and probably about to die, legally
house
blind.
arrest.
I do think that house arrest is probably more appropriate than going to jail. He's just too fucking old.
Just a bracelet around them old dry ankles.
Dry ass ankles. But I say that to say this: the Cosby Show was more than just Bill Cosby. That was a work. That was work, and this is the Sinbad's brothers. That was work for a wide range of people. It's made money for tons of companies.
Sure.
I don't think there's anything inside the Cosby Show itself, and I don't think that you can just go erase somebody's stuff because they had this.
Although Pretty Young Thing is very difficult to listen to now.
Yes. Yeah. And you know what? And dude, I got a conversation with so I was driving back with my carpool buddy, and the verdict just came out.
Oh, dude, is human nature bad too?
Let me finish. And we started listening to Michael Jackson, and I said, dude, you know what? Not for nothing, I'm kind of glad Michael Jackson died when he did, because if he was still alive today, they would have destroyed him. Yeah, all these people would have came out of the woodwork,
definitely,
and they would have destroyed him and destroyed his legacy. Like he went out.
And I think about that. Social media.
If Bill Cosby had passed away like 5-10 years ago, before any of this shit came out, like they would have never went back and eroded. And I'm not. And it's one of those things, man. Like
I gotta tell you, it's fucking me up, man. Why? Why?
Why do they do it?
Tell them that it's human nature. Oh, God. If this town is just an apple, let me take a bite. I feel like apple was a metaphor for little boy booty.
Oh my God.
Oh man. Dude, I gotta pause it and tell you guys a quick story. It's too much for this.
One time I asked to use the restroom, and they said, sure, it's right around the corner there. Once I went in the restroom, they locked me in there for like 45 minutes. There was doo-doo feces thrown all over the walls, the floor, the ceiling, and it stunk so bad. Then one of the policemen came by the window and he made a sarcastic remark. He said, does it smell good enough for you in there? How do you like the smell? Is it good? And I just simply said, it's all right. It's okay.
Look, let me tell you what's wild about that. First of all, that he calls that he's a grown man and he calls cops a policeman.
Yeah,
that's
true.
crazy.
That is true.
Also, putting it on the ceiling is extra crazy. Like if you shit all over the walls and you like that's you went out of your way to get that
Do you
shit.
think he's exaggerating? You think there's really doo-doo feces on the ceiling?
I believe him.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Doo-doo.
I don't know. Maybe they're doo-doo feces particles.
There's another one where he talks about like they touch my penis, my genitals.
Oh
God. Just see my cock and balls.
Anyway,
Dude, as soon as that guy's nose got aerodynamic, the whole fucking shit just went down the toilet.
Yeah, we were talking about that, man. I was like,
It's like he wasn't getting enough oxygen to his brain with that little nose.
I was a huge Michael Jackson fan
alien nose.
when I was growing up. Like my mom, like sewn me
I'm
a
a
rhinestone.
huge Jackson fan now.
A rhinestone glove. I had the black pants with the white socks. You know what I mean? I had a little Michael Jackson
white socks.
I had a little Michael Jackson microphone. You know what I mean? With it, that you can tune into the radio and you can sing and it would come out on the radio. It was trash. It's like, but just the fact that you could do it. You know
that I still always remember like Troy and I having this conversation about his performance for Motown's 25th.
Yeah.
Because that was like the first time you saw Michael Jackson as kind of as we see Michael Jackson.
Yes.
And like before that, he was all into like those disco jumpers and shit, like extra crazy
off
shit.
the wall shit.
But when they did that, he came out with that jacket, the glitter jacket, and like the hat, the socks, the whole bit. And we just always imagined like them going like, okay, Michael, we have your disco sparkle suit all ready. No, tonight I think I'm going to wear this.
Oh man. Anyway, the fall of our heroes, and like in Disney,
you look like a Michael Jackson beat it.
There was
I almost said it. Oh man.
All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Oh God, what a great segment. Loose ends. So, Avengers 4 concludes the Captain America Winter Soldier story. We'll talk about this later on. No sense in recapping that.
Recapping it?
Did I do it on purpose? No, I just missed it. All the pretty... Green Lantern's getting a new Green Lantern. That's not really worth talking about.
Oh, I got an alibi. I did watch Fantastic Four: Rise of the Silver Surfer last night. Mm-hmm. Just like I would... Just like forward some of the bits. Mm-hmm. Let me tell you. The special effects for the Surfer do not hold up, bro.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I like Lawrence Fishburne's performance of the Silver Surfer. Like his voice texture and tone and the way that he communicates. It's
Lawrence Fishburne has an amazing voice.
Yeah, but in my head, I never imagined Silver Surfer with that voice. But when I heard it, I was like, this is right.
But what's her face? What's her name?
Jessica Alba.
She looks weird
because of the contacts.
It's not the contacts. It's like they tried to.
Just looks weird.
No.
She looks good in Sin City.
It looks like It looks like they airbrushed her face to look more Caucasian. Like they try to change her facial structure.
Speaking
and
of
like her,
Jackson,
yeah, and like her hair and everything. It looks fucking weird. But I gotta say one thing. Johnny Storm does seem like a different person from Captain America. Like, his portrayal
for sure.
of that, like I was like, oh man, I gotta watch Johnny Storm or whatever, and it didn't affect it whatsoever.
Yeah, I watched another movie with him in it where he's like a single father. Well, he's like,
with a smart kid.
Yes,
that was one of his best performances.
He's a good fucking actor.
He doesn't strike me as Cap there. Yeah. Some of his outfits are a little too cappy for me. Like I'm like, this is probably what Cap wears on his days off.
I got you.
But yeah,
that's just because he's Diesel's son.
Yeah, I know.
Continue. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no, I mean that's pretty much
That
it.
movie was trash though. And Doctor Doom, super trash.
Yeah, Doom is somebody that they just haven't been able to bottle.
And I like that guy from Nip Tuck. Like when he was in Nip Tuck. Did you ever watch this show?
No,
dude, it was.
I love that theme song though, like the opening show song.
It was. Yeah,
I tried an episode of it. I couldn't get into it.
Well, you know, story of my life.
I don't know if we have any questions this week. Or we probably have some more news real quick.
Oh yeah, I'm sure we do.
Whatever we added into here recently. Let me try to pull it up. There is a. I'll get to that. Hold on.
What do you guys think of the Venom trailer?
Yeah, so that's one.
That's in there.
All right, let's talk about the Venom trailer. Have we all seen it?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
It was a fucking Infinity War.
It was?
Yeah. Right?
Yeah.
No, it wasn't.
No. When I saw it the
show
second time and I had the next door person to me that was interesting.
It was not in. It was not in.
I saw
It
it.
wasn't.
Oh, okay. I saw it. Maybe I
I
just
saw it yesterday again.
So, look, I don't think the digital effects are finished,
No, probably not.
but I don't hate the process of the morph. I don't hate the teeth coming up and
No,
swallowing.
because they took that from the comics. They've done that a few
Yeah,
times.
but
a couple artists have tried that.
Yes. And sometimes the teeth are too stringy, like they're too far out there, and they kind of come back. But I don't conceptually hate it, and I don't hate how he looks in it. Like I like the general look. And watching the trailer, I feel like the movie looks better than it should.
That's fair,
Yeah.
but
Yeah, you do not care for it. The tongue is a bit much.
It's one of these things where you have to, all right, there are certain things that work in the comic book world, and you have to be very careful on how you apply those to film, because they easily can make, the bar too high. Like the entry fee is too high, and like the teeth and the spittle coming off the teeth and the lip rolling up as he, it's too much too soon. You know what I mean? And like, there's no Spider-Man. There's no reason that he looks the way he looks yet.
Well, unless there is a Spider-Man that we just
they haven't shown it.
Yeah,
maybe, but
the problem
the
is
symbiote has to
I agree.
bond to Spider-Man and have the template of
I agree.
Spider-Man's costume, or it just looks dumb.
I agree.
Yeah.
And like,
Without the connective tissue to Parker,
it's a stupid
it
concept.
doesn't work.
Yeah.
I'm wondering, because they don't really show it in the trailer, if he will have the White Spider or not, because they've done versions of him without it.
Yeah. I would guess that he would not have the White Spider.
That's my guess, too.
And the other thing about the Venom, like, listen, I'm a McFarlane fan, all right? I like McFarlane's original concept of Venom. I liked how Eric Larson did expand it a little bit, but he's the one that went really crazy with the fucking teeth and the crazy
Huge
tongue,
bottom jaw.
right? But I always thought when the suit became too organic-y, like it kind of lost me. I like the fact that it mimicked like a costume or mimicked clothing, right? And that like Venom was just big as fuck. He's like a big build dude, and like he had the claws and whatnot, but he wasn't this big monster, like this Scooby monster.
They
Now,
mutated him.
Yeah,
depending
yeah.
on the
It
artist.
does seem like to me that this belongs in the Garfield universe from the first film.
yes, I agree.
It's
now,
not very Nolan-y.
If they go that route, I wouldn't be mad. Like I could deal with this being the Garfield verse,
It won't be.
I think they should have kept that on.
Yes.
But I agree. It
they're
probably
doing
fits better
Spider-Verse
for that
anyway.
world.
and do a one-off and be done with it. It'd be fine. Like people get to check that off their box, But I just like how the power is manifesting, where it like shoots out like giant tentacles. That's never been a.
It's kind of a thing.
It is now, but it's a thing because of video games.
No, in the 90s he did it.
No, in
Not originally.
Maybe not in the McFarlane book. In the Larson's book, he definitely did.
In the very original, like there's a part where he's fighting off Spider-Man, and like some of like you see some of the costume, go away off his leg, and there's like it's like digging under the sand to grab Peter by the head,
Yeah.
and like snatch him, and that's when Peter's like, okay, I'll take you back,
Yeah, he
join
tricks him.
me.
That's the second time he beats him.
Yeah. So, and then in some of the Eric Larson stuff, it was more of it, but it wasn't until like Carnage, and even Carnage, when he would shoot those things, they would fall apart after,
Yeah. Carnage had the explanation of being gestating on Earth, so he had extra powers that Venom didn't have.
Yes. So they've like over time, like his powers have gotten, but like the real technically stuff Venom came from that like Marvel vs. Capcom Venom to have a different looking attack than Spider-Man. That's when that shit first happened. You know?
I don't know.
I mean, that was like in the 90s. You know, that's when that shit first happened.
When they started getting multiple limited series, they kind of exaggerated.
It's been a part of it for so long, though. I do feel like it is part.
Yeah, it's part of his character. But generally, he can't regenerate his suit as quickly as Carnage can.
Can we all agree that the gif of the googly eyes is fucking fantastic?
Yeah,
awesome.
that is hilarious.
But I just feel like maybe it's a little bit more fucking Akira than I like to admit.
I like what I see. I don't think it's going to be a great movie because, like we all agree, Venom without Spider-Man is worthless.
Yeah. Well, I think he can do the character because he's been on his own for so long. I need to see some kind of tie, even if it's just verbally.
Yeah.
No, just some kind of story point.
But at that point, if it's tied to him, it has worth.
Yeah.
What I'm saying is the absence of Spider-Man, like you said, doesn't make any sense for the suit to look that way.
Yeah.
It doesn't make any sense for him to have like the web type looking shit that comes out. It doesn't make any sense for the eyes. It doesn't make any it doesn't make any sense for the hate. Like Spider-Man defines who Venom is.
Yes.
And so without Spider-Man, it's just inherently wrong.
Yeah, like the whole reason Venom is bad is because the symbiote is rejected and it only has a very small concept. Yeah.
How obnoxious.
It only has it has a very shallow concept of emotions and feelings only because it bonded with a human being. So its functions, its higher functions, you know. But I mean, of course, they've changed it over the years, and I've been out of it for so long. You know, I know like the whole anti-venom and the whole toxin thing. I mean, I was into that shit. You know, I had all the toxin books as well, but they just kind of fucked it all up. So I don't know. And not to say that it's not good. Like not the Venom books, it's not good, but it's just like they need to find something that works and stick with it, and not do this crazy mixture of whatever and make it its own thing. I just think that's where it fails. You know.
Also, to piggyback real quick on the Marvel buyout, Fantastic Four is returning to the comics.
Yeah,
so it's like right in line with everything happening.
Yeah.
Like so, I would take that as a sign. We lost Mini-Me.
Yeah.
So rest in peace, and thoughts and prayers and likes and shares.
I had a good joke for that one too, but I can't remember what it was. Do you remember what it was?
No, it was just a little joke though.
Yeah.
All right. I'm trying to think if there's anything that's like especially interesting to talk about before we move on to questions and stuff. There's just a bunch of rumor shit. It looks like John Hopkins' team performs world's first penis and scrotum transplant.
Dude, why did you share that one?
I thought that was interesting.
Let me ask you a question, right? So you go back to get your driver's license, and you're an organ transplant person. Are you okay with it now?
No.
So now you're gonna uncheck that box.
Look,
if you're
let Beyonce upgrade you, okay?
No, I'm saying like so if you get in an accident, they'll actually cut off your junk and give your junk to somebody else. Are you okay with that?
No, I want that shit cremated and put in a little necklace to wear around her neck.
I mean, your heart,
a big ass necklace.
Your heart and your liver and everything. You're good to go with that. Just not your penis.
Yeah,
I'm being serious. Like,
I'm not an organ donor.
You're not.
You're not.
No. Personal choice.
So selfish. I was an organ donor for years until.
I think that it is great to be an organ donor and all that stuff. I want all of me and all of her to be together forever.
Yeah. Interesting. I was not an organ donor until I was like 30, and that's when I renewed my license in Pennsylvania, and in Pennsylvania you have to. It's like automatic, yes, I think, or something. And so I got my card, like, it says organ now. I was like, okay. But back in the day, I was like, no, man, because I'm like on the table and about to die. They're like, they're just gonna let me go to take them organs.
Legally, that is,
you know what I'm saying?
That's not okay.
I know.
That's actually what
but they're like, listen, this guy's got a 5% chance. It's not worth it. He can save 6 other people. They're gonna let me go when I got fucking survived.
One eye, one guy.
Yeah.
Henry Cavill wants to do Superman too. So that's cool.
Of course.
He wants work.
And then the other thing,
let me ask you this. That's interesting. I mean, everybody wants work, of course. But I mean, there's definitely some of these superhero actors who don't want to do anymore. I mean, do you think that he wants it just for the work, or do you think he wants it to expand on that character?
I hope to expand on that character because he is perfect for it.
Yeah, he is really good.
Yeah.
I really want Brainiac to be in Man of Steel too.
And there's, for as many movies as he's been in as that character, there's still so much left unexplored.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah. Oh God, yes.
And then there's also apparently sequels are still light years away, or at least not due until 2019 of the Star Trek JJ universe.
Yeah, and Quentin's doing it, right? Star Trek 3.
I don't think that's locked
solidified.
in stone. Yeah,
dude, I'm down to give it a chance.
I am too,
motherfucker.
And then that's it. We do have some Star Wars news, but we have some Q&A.
Let me do that to you again. I'm down to give that a chance, Joker.
Yeah, that's true, dude. Too much.
It is too much.
Let's look here. Some people want to promote their art on our Instagram. Here we go. Leia Poppins edit from Jay Martinez. What's good, NRR crew? It's bomb atomically. Socrates' philosophies and high prophecies can't define how I be dropping these mockeries. Your faithful fan from Southern California. I stumbled across this video while pursuing the YouTubes and thought you might find it interesting. The clip is a bit long, but the guy in the video makes some solid points regarding the music thematically, especially at the later part where he adds music over the Hux dialogue. It's pretty solid. Can't wait to hear all your opinions on Infinity War after this weekend. It's sure a hell of a time to be a nerd. We would love to give our opinions on this thing that you're talking about, but you didn't include the link. So we'll tackle this next week. Given that the link is included, but it sounds like something I want to check out. But I included that in there for the joke.
You love a good setup.
I do. And we do have a Paul C question. He says, I admit I'm behind on at least one episode, so I don't know.
You better have a valid excuse.
If this would get in before you watch Infinity War.
It's not like you had twins or anything.
He said, hopefully this question gets in before you watch Infinity War.
Nope.
It won't. In past questions, I mentioned that the MCU villains all seem disposable. So look, Paul, we're going to be getting into this very shortly. We're just going to leave that be.
What's the question? I want to know.
Who do you feel has been the most disposable? Thanos is obviously not going to be that way, but before we see him in action, who do you think or feel has been the most disposable villain in the MCU? Who should have been awesome, but just ended up being tossed aside and wasted so that the normies would enjoy their comic book movie? So, I think there are a ton of villains that they haven't done enough with, but there's some that they've now done plenty with that I feel like I want to talk about later.
Okay.
Anyway, let's make sure that this is
Ironmonger.
Ironmonger.
Monger. I'm thinking of Warmonger.
Mongrel.
I can think of two off the top of my head that I would like to see.
Pepper Potts.
Dude,
is she a villain?
Pepper Potts.
To his lifestyle.
That's right. Can we all agree Tony was much more cooler when he was in a relationship with her, right?
Yeah, kind of.
You know what I mean?
He's way more of a playboy.
Yeah.
Let's get into Star Wars news real quick, and then we'll hop into Infinity War with both feet. So there's plenty of solo trailers or TV spots,
and they all look good,
except for the last one. I don't know if
the
one called Han. It's the hey kids, this is a fun film. Like it's that TV spot. They all do it, but it's just that one.
Okay. I'll allow.
So, according to the latest rumor, and I'm not excited, and I'll tell you why afterwards, but this is exciting to read.
Boba Fett's in it.
According to this latest rumor, Disney is looking to cast a middle-aged woman going by the name of Mara.
Oh.
Now, let me tell you why I'm not excited. I am excited because I can't help myself, but let me tell you why the voice in my head is trying to tell me not to be excited.
Yeah.
If it was going to be her, they wouldn't be looking for someone named Mara. For a character to be named Mara. It'd be like, we're looking for a character to be made Sally. Sally. Nelly. I just feel like they'd be giving away too much. But, I mean, I'm all for bringing Mara Jade. She's one of the more interesting. Also, I was listening back to last week's episode. You and I weren't on the same page, and I owe you a bit of an apology. We just miscommunicated. You were saying
Hold on a second. Let me just revel in this for a second.
It's one of the few times you'll ever get an apology.
Hold on. Continue.
Let me tell you why this is confusing. So I was talking about the material that came out after Jedi, and you were saying especially the legacy stuff with, and you said Caden.
Yeah.
So you were talking about the legacy comics based on Cade.
Yes.
But because of the familiarity of, or similarity of both words, I thought you were talking about the legacy of the Force books with Cadus.
Okay.
And that's where we couldn't get on the same page with it because we weren't talking about the same things, and we were unable to. So you like the Cade stuff, and I was like, I love the Cadus stuff. And you're like, it's not Cadus. And I was like, it's definitely Cadus. Actually, I think it's Cadus. And we went on this whole thing, but we weren't even talking about the same thing. But yes, the legacy stuff is great.
It is Cade?
Yes. No, it's Cade, not Caden.
Gotcha.
Yes, but and he's like Skywalker's grandson or whatever.
Yeah, after 100 years or some shit.
Yeah, and
he does the drugs
to numb the Force.
Yeah,
which is fucking cool. That book does get away from itself a little bit towards the end of its run.
Sixth act.
But yeah, I mean, it goes on for like 12 graphic novels, but it does get away from itself a little bit to kind of wrap itself up. But it is still good.
Yeah,
and I love the whole Sith thing and how the Darth Wrath, I think is his name, which is a bit on the nose. He says that the whole order of the Sith, the rule of two, was misinterpreted, and it should be the rule of one, but not one Sith Lord, one Sith order, and then he like introduces like an army of Sith, and like that, it's just fucking a cool twist to it. Anyway, that's where that got off the rails. Back to Marge 8. I don't think they'll do it, but I'd definitely be up for it.
I mean, if they did it, it just seems like a waste if it's not connected to Luke now that he's gone.
Unless she's the kid.
She's Luke's kid?
Unless Rey is there.
Oh, maybe.
But then at least it saves it for me, that element of it. But it does, it is back to that, like, JJ predictability.
What's his face that the guy that's in the Hot Fuzz movies, and he was like
1/4 portion.
Yeah. He did make some comment about Ryan Johnson was off the tracks, didn't do what JJ ordered he wanted to do, or some shit. He made some comment out, and then I know JD's trying to get back on the tracks or some shit.
Yes, I've read that. But I'm not sure what track I. It depends. It depends on what that track led to, because, like I said, I feel like I've already taken that trip. The original tracks. But anyway, and then we also had like the 3 solo TV spots. I love 2 out of 3.
And Meatloaf says that's not bad.
Meatloaf did?
Yeah, 2 out of 3. It's not bad.
I thought he saw the movie. I was like, that's a strange twist of fate. Apparently, they gave him a ticket and he ran like a bat out of hell. And I think that's it for Star Wars stuff.
All right.
So we can get into Infinity War. So, if you don't want to be spoiled,
click off now.
99, 98, 97, 96. You'll have ample time. 95, 94, 93, 92. Have you hit skip ahead 15 seconds yet? 91, 90. Oop, need to hit it twice. 89, 88.
All right, so out of 10, I give it a 9.
I give it a 9.
I give it a 9.
9.5. But I explained why.
P. Diddy style. Oh yeah. Tell the listeners why.
All right, so
the movie's a 9.
The movie's a 9 in itself.
What bumps it up to 9.5?
But that extra half comes from
motherfucker.
Even
was good.
Before that.
That was good.
So I'm watching the credits because I like to look at names. It's a weird hobby. And there's a guy, and there's even more to it now too. I looked him up. His name is Paul Dickover.
Get the fuck out of here.
I shit you not.
It's legit.
Dickover. I fucking love it. And that made me so happy. I was very happy. Paul Dickover lives in Baltimore.
No shit,
you
dude.
That's awesome.
Sometimes my wife's like, pull that dick over here.
Dude, time to have a guest on NRR.
Now, that's what I'm saying. Now, that is my number one goal in life.
So what does Mr. Dickover do?
Dickover.
He's on like the camera crew.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
And
Perfect.
I was really excited to see that.
Yeah,
And then I saw they lived in Baltimore. I was like, oh my God, I got to be his friend.
Yeah.
Nice.
There's a couple things I want to say because I keep. Or what's your score? You said 9.
Yeah.
I want to say because I keep forgetting to say it on any sort of recorded format.
Okay. Hold on. Stop. Let me stop this and save it.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
We're ready for you.
Number 1. Mm-hmm. We're skipping to the end.
Mm-hmm.
I love that Thanos. We got the finger snap and the population cut in half.
Yeah. Very daring.
That being said, I wish they wouldn't have killed off specifically Panther and Parker because I feel like they overplayed their hand.
Like everybody's like, oh, this is going to change.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like that
Is that needed though?
for me. It's not. I don't know if it's needed, but for me, if it was a snap of the finger and it was all people, there's like, dude, that might be it for them. I think I would be on the edge of my seat more.
You mean based on the contract situation?
Yeah.
Based on the contract situation, or even the are we getting a Falcon movie? Probably not. So like if you kill Falcon, like that kind of shit. But like fucking Black Panther just did a Billy. Like he's coming back.
Yeah.
100% coming back. So like
It was kind of daring too to kill Black Panther
Yeah.
after being so fucking popular.
yeah, and then and
I like the fact that
The little boy next to me, when they kill Black Panther, he screams like, "No, T'Challa!" And then when Peter
Parker,
died, he started bawling.
yeah. So
Parker died. And
that's the thing is, like, I know they're coming back.
Yeah.
And that kind of takes some of the levity of it, like the gravity of it, away from me.
Yeah.
Secondly, I don't know if anyone noticed this, but Thanos, when he's talking to the Collector, who is Benicio del Toro, says, "Where is the stone?" Which is an obvious reference to Benicio del Toro in Snatch.
Oh shit! That's wow. I haven't seen that in a long time.
Damn.
Which I love.
That was a little Easter egg thrown in for hardcore Del Toro fans.
Yeah.
I'm sure Del Toro.
Fucking cool.
Yeah.
That is cool. Wow.
Huh. I like it.
It's like done in the same cadence.
Yeah.
And then the other thing that I want to mention real quick is I was having this conversation with Extra Zero. Shout out to him, but he was saying how one thing that irritated him about it, why he doesn't give it a perfect score, is Wanda's accent is like not present.
Yeah,
that's true.
Did you recognize that before we talked about it?
I didn't think about
that
the moment he
either.
said it. I was like, it is, and then I wrote right back to him. I was like, dude, what if she's the Skrull?
Ooh.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah.
And something happened during that point when they all had to go into hiding, and that was where they were infiltrated. Like,
And it's because the Skrulls still have their power.
Well, I want
they still have their power.
They had to manipulate comics to do that because originally Skrulls could not duplicate powers.
Yeah, how did that happen? Explain that to me.
During the invasion storyline, they found a way from the Queen, who ended up being Spider-Woman, that gave them, the extra Skrulls, their powers. Because at first there were only mutant Skrulls that could do it, like Elijah and the Super Skrull.
Yeah.
And then they found a way to do all of them. And
Not
it
all-
still wasn't all of them anyway. Some of them still had tech-based powers.
I feel like in a way you just earned your hat.
Yeah. And not only that, but don't the Skrulls
I could
actually...
go all over the Sinister Six.
I know you
Don't the Skrulls actually believe they are the person, so they can't be found out by psychics?
Which is why when Wolverine got his adamantium back, the person impersonating him was a Skrull that had totally delved and become
Skrulls are not people.
I know. No, explain that one to me.
Because Wolverine obviously had the metal ripped out of him.
And Magneto back.
And,
It took 10 years to get it back.
He had bone claws for a long time.
Yeah.
And Marvel finally decided to give him his metal back. But they did it in a subtle way where the real Wolverine had secretly been taken out and given over to Apocalypse to become Death and given his metal back. While in play, everybody thought was Wolverine actually turned out to be a Skrull. And this was long before the invasion storyline.
Okay.
So, but this was a Skrull who had dedicated his life, and since Wolverine's not energy-based powers, he could duplicate the claws exactly, and it wasn't metal anymore.
Okay.
So, because they were bone, so he became Logan, and actually believed he was the real Wolverine, so nobody could detect it.
Yeah.
Which is why he could avoid telepaths.
It's pretty badass.
Yeah.
Fucking sneaky ass scrolls.
So those are the three things I needed to get off my chest because I just kept forgetting to say them.
Yeah. So you and I spoke about it a little bit, and
We did. We should have recorded that conversation.
we should have, but it's fine. It's fine. We have
It's our lot in life, I feel like.
It is. It is. We should just record every interaction we ever have.
Interaction.
Wait. Be like Dr. Doom.
Yeah.
yeah.
So I do think that this was probably the most comic book movie
I've ever seen.
Yeah.
And what I mean by that is that in most arcs of a comic book, you have, the different parts you're setting up everything, but that last book just becomes more and more double page
Splash
spreads.
page.
Yeah. And it's less dialogue, it's more action, it is just the climax, and that's how comic books are usually written and they're usually 6-part arcs. And I just feel like that's what we got here, where the story in itself wasn't anything groundbreaking, but it was done in such a way, and it just honestly trusted that the viewership had a command understanding of the source material, that they could do it and not skip a beat.
I agree.
Now, I do realize there's going to be some gripes about missed opportunities in the past, but I think ultimately you just got to be like, damn, dude, they fucking did it. And they fucking had the balls to fucking kill Spider-Man, to fucking, kill T'Challa. And it's like, people got to sit with that for a year. For a year.
I also, I want to say this, the Rossi brothers, is that the...
Yeah.
The Russo brothers?
Russo brothers. I keep saying it wrong. The Russo brothers, they understand Captain America maybe better than anyone ever.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Every
probably the best character.
fucking thing he says in that movie is fucking perfect.
Yeah.
They're meant to write his character. Basically.
I 100% agree. I could watch them do Captain America to the end.
Yeah.
I'll tell you this. It's definitely my second or third favorite Marvel movie. It might be, you know what? It might be my favorite Marvel movie. I just don't think it's the best Marvel movie. I might say that Winter Soldier is a better movie
because it can stand by itself.
Yes,
and that comes back to
it's just the not only can it stand by itself, but the actual story that's told is just more interesting. It's more engaging. Whereas this, I feel like it's just pretty much straightforward. Boom, 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 payoff. Boom, 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 payoff. Which is cool, but this might be my favorite because it's just the most fun to watch, and it's earned the right to be that.
I think. I hear what you're saying, and I agree with you to an extent. But I think again, it's apples and oranges. I think that we need to categorize this as something else.
I agree.
You know what I mean? And so we do need to wrap our minds around this is a new type of media that we've never.
It's a film based on a third act.
Yeah, that's it.
Pretty much.
And not for nothing. It's actually a film based off a second act. Because,
right.
You know what I mean?
Or it's probably the first half of a third act.
Yeah. That's more appropriate. And I think it was almost perfect, man. I can't really find any error in it, and I'm trying to pick it apart. The one thing that I initially said to Bobby, which is funny, is why did Doctor Strange just fucking freeze time when what's his face got there? And then just reverse time to make the gyms go away or whatever. And then my daughter came up, who was on the other side of the theater, and said the exact same thing to me. But I after kind of replaying in my head, it's well, that's probably one of the options, but they still would have lost. You know what I mean? Even if they did that, they still would have lost. And then when I was thinking back to the Doctor Strange movie, some of the other people had the power to get outside the time loop.
Yeah. It took Kaecilius a little bit, but he was able to do it.
Yeah. So what that means to me is at the time, all these gyms are powerful, but they're not the ultimate power of all those respective factors.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They definitely toned down the power based compared to the comic.
Yeah.
They had to.
Yeah. And it did seem too that to utilize the power, and it's not really explained. You just kind of have to believe he can do what he does. But it does seem that he does have an aspect of concentration. It's not like he's toying with them. He actually is struggling.
Yes. Whereas opposed to the comic,
we talked about this a bit.
Yeah.
He in the comic, by the time everything happens in Infinity Gauntlet, he's already had the power and he's already eliminated the lives in the beginning.
Yeah.
So he's had time to master it.
Yeah,
During this, he's still acquiring and still learning how to use stuff.
It's to his will in the comic, but he has had it for some time, and it's like we said, it's far more interesting how he gets the stones in the movie than how he gets in the comics.
Yep.
I will say that, like, we talked about this a bit on the phone. It is interesting how the Soul Gem isn't connected to Adam whatsoever.
Yeah, I was disappointed with that.
You know, like that does seem like potentially a missed opportunity.
Maybe.
I'm thinking, well, that's one of my faults with this is I didn't bring him in.
I liked the Gamora bit, man. I really
Well,
did.
that was good. Yeah. Selena cried in the theater because Selena and Jaina see themselves very much as Gamora and Nebula, and especially that line, like, you just wanted to win and I just wanted a sister. Like, that is my oldest two daughters to the T, and. When she died, like, Selena looked over at me and, like, had a tear just, like, coming down her face.
Yeah.
Like, oh, baby, it's like, and I'm rubbing her back. I'm like, you know, but it is like, I mean, it's sad and it was heartbreaking for me to watch. But, like, I was like, God damn, like, you are invested. You know these. You know the passion of this, even if I don't see it.
I kind of feel like this is our kids' generation Empire.
Yeah, you said that, and we talked about that a bit
based on the impact.
Yeah.
I disagree with you initially.
Yep.
On my way home, I think I understood more what you were saying, and I think you meant from the way that you feel cliffhanger wise at the end.
The cliffhanger wise, the twist of what, like, how the world's gonna work out. You know, like, fucking Vader is your father.
Yeah.
Shit, I did not. That sucks.
See, that I still disagree with.
But it's the same type of thing. Like the people getting sacrificed. It's the thing where
this movie has that awakening impact of Empire in total.
All right, I'm not in the way the awakening, but I'm saying, like, something happens where you expect a very clean movie. You know what I mean? So you expect the A to happen, the B to happen, the struggle, and at the end of the day, they're on the fucking steps getting medals. Everybody wants
I didn't
medal.
expect that.
Well, yeah,
but we because we all knew this part 1 and 2.
Oh no! I'm talking about like in movies. I mean, like, Empire kind of made the cliffhanger, right? It made it a thing, right? Yeah. And, you know, Star Wars was one of the first movies to really focus on the whole sequel aspect. And they're like, this is a story in itself as part of a bigger story, right? And in this film, even though we know there's going to be Infinity War 2 or there's going to be Avengers 4, right? Every one of these movies, even if it has some strings that aren't tied up, it has wrapped up in a way, and this leaves you fucking shocked. And it's that shock that, like, everybody died. You know, not everybody but the original Avengers. And you gotta fucking eat that. Yeah, you know.
But I do. I can see your point on that. Yeah. I'm not sure if I totally agree with it. I definitely agree with the cliffhanger bit.
Yeah,
but I think that I almost think for me it's almost apples and oranges. And
it's definitely apples and oranges.
Just because, like, this is, like, I do agree that I think this is something entirely new.
Yeah, it's not the same thing. I'm just saying it's going to be a similar impact when they talk about these movies when they're older. They're going to be talking about when I was there and saw Infinity War, and you know how you felt when fucking Spider-Man disappeared.
I almost feel like it's closer to Transformers.
It might be.
That might be
the beginning. That might be a good thing too.
You know, because like we all sit and talk about like how we felt when Prime died and how we like.
Someone actually gave me that comparison to on the way up. I was talking to someone, and that was the same comparison they used.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and not for nothing, Transformers probably is our generation because Empire came out before we were born. You know what I mean?
It didn't. Well, it came out. Oh yeah, I guess it came out a couple months before I was born.
Yeah.
It came out after you were born.
Yeah, but I was a baby. I mean, so by the time we were watching movies, we already saw Jedi. You know what I mean? Like Jedi was already there. We didn't have to live with that. But fucking Transformers, when Optimus died,
I don't see him the same. I don't think I'm ever going to see him the same.
We had to live with that. It's not. No, it's different. It's different.
But I definitely see the connection with Transformers. Like like letting go of this old guard, you know, to move on to something new.
Yeah. Well, the funny bit is that all the original cast fucking lived. It's fucking Hot Rod and fucking died. You know what I mean? Because the original Avengers are the only ones that survived.
Right.
Yeah. So, which I wish.
But I don't think that's how it's going to end up.
No. I was shocked that it wasn't Cap and Iron Man that died. That didn't die. I'm sorry.
I'm surprised that Iron Man didn't die.
Yeah, and dude,
because it's shot. It's presented like
the audible gasp of the audience.
Oh yeah,
when he stabs him. Everybody's
like,
I mean, the air got sucked out of the room, both figuratively and literally.
Yeah.
So earlier that morning, that actually someone posted what is now known to be a false spoiler, but someone, I'm scrolling through Instagram and some goofy thing comes up. It goes, Captain Hulk die in Infinity War. I was like, and then, I start things like, well, it makes sense, contract. And I think, I was like, they'll probably do him in a flashback or use a time gem, so we'll see him in the next movie. And Hawk, they can't really, make a Hawk movie. So it's like, all right, well, why keep them around? It's like, so I'm going into this movie thinking, all right, well, I kind of know what to expect. And then when it didn't happen, I was like, all right, fucking awesome, good. Even better. And I can really, enjoy and be surprised.
Yeah, I love the nods to the comics. I love the finger snap. Yeah. I love somebody crashing into Doctor Strange's house.
Yeah.
Which kind of jumps off.
Love the Nebula getting pulled apart because that was as close as they were going to get to Nebula being a twisted corpse.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
That was fucking gruesome.
Yeah. And I love
the angle it was shot. And you're like,
since they didn't do Nebula getting the glove off him, that they imitated it anyway with a combination of characters where they're all attacking at the same time. They almost did the same thing.
Yeah.
That was like the Surfer bit, and the Surfer almost gets it too.
Well, you know what? I mean, she's still around.
Yeah, I could still see, because Nebula's the only Guardians member that's still alive.
And wasn't Cap, when Cap went down?
No, Rocket's alive too.
Oh, yeah, Rocket's alive too, yeah.
Dude,
wasn't Cap on his knees when he went down in the book too?
No, Cap, that's the Surfer moment that's very iconic. So, Cap's last man standing, and he puts his shield up, because Thanos is like, you're nothing to me, I'm going to kill you. And Cap's like, I'm still the last man standing.
Yeah.
And Warlock and Surfer are off in the distance, watching from a distance. And Surfer's like, I have to stop him now. And Adam's like, wait for it. As soon as he raises the glove up, he's like, now, because he knows Surfer can travel faster than light.
Right.
So, in one instant, Surfer misses grabbing the glove off Thanos' hand, because at the time, Thanos had depowered himself to just use the Power Stone.
Right.
Yeah.
As a nod to gain Death's affection. So, Surfer misses, and then Thanos just backhands Cap and kills him. And that's basically what they did here. But he had Cap's feet locked in position by Stone.
Right.
And they didn't do that bit, but they did a good nod to it.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love, we talked a bit about Vision as a human.
Yeah. That was cool.
Seemed great.
Dude, and your idea of when they repair Vision, him being white?
Yeah.
Yeah, that would be great, because
Dude,
he's
fucking,
90s version was cool.
It's fucking perfect.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I think they could totally bring him back.
Yeah, for sure.
I did think destroying him that way was a little unnecessary. Them big ass fingers. You know what I mean?
Crushing in the skull.
Yeah.
Well, I was watching something else. I'm trying to make sure we hit all the notes that you and I discussed. But like the idea of Vision in Scarlet Witch, like in Scarlet Witch trying to remove the gem, and Scarlet Witch destroying the gem to say. And I was telling Adam, I was like, I can't believe I didn't see that coming.
Yeah.
Like,
that was interesting.
And when it was happening, with all of our predictions and all of our thoughts about what's going to happen, I just can't believe I was like that. No one said, you know what, we have to sacrifice this dude to save. And then when it started happening, I
think that because we didn't ever think that was even possible to destroy an Infinity Stone.
Yeah, because in the comics, they've made them disappear and then they brought them back after.
Yeah,
I was thinking in my head when it was happening, I was like, I don't know if there's a way. I don't know if there's a way to satisfy me with it. And let me explain. Like, if she would have destroyed the stone and Thanos would have never gotten it, then I would have been like, that's how you can beat him, because he never gets all of them.
Yeah.
But then you never get to see the Infinity Gauntlet actually work. So it's like win, lose.
To me, they had to have the finger snap in.
Now,
they did it.
Now, if you go the other way, which is what they did do, he's going to get the Infinity Gauntlet, which pretty much makes him a god. So how can you not have him underpowered in some way? So that is my like you can win that, but you can't win that element for me.
And I think we have a solution. Because like after he snapped, the glove's all burnt up and fucked up.
Yeah, but he still uses
the gems. Still used, but it might be one of those things you can't use them together like he was.
Yeah, as well as he could.
You know what I mean? But going back to the thing, the one thing that I liked about Thanos' character, and we saw it over and over again, he wasn't being evil for evil's sake. Like he didn't just he could have killed everybody, but once he once he killed like half of the Asgardians, he's not going to kill anybody else.
Yeah.
Like, he left Thor alone.
Which brings up.
Let me finish.
Okay.
And even when he's like, he didn't kill, like, he dissolved the Guardians, like, chopped up. And I was like, oh wow, fucking, Drax is dead. Oh, Mantis is dead, but he didn't. And even Star-Lord, he like go ahead, do it. And he shot her, and he's turned into bubbles. But he's like, I like him.
I think
and
I like him.
And it's like he in the same thing he said to Scarlet Witch, like when she was willing to sacrifice what she loved for what and she liked her, and like he's like consoling her. You know what I mean? Like, it's like, hey, you did what you had to do.
This
but
is what we got to. This is who we are.
I thought was fucking powerful. It's like once he was done fighting, once he had achieved his goal, he did just fucking roll. And like he didn't try to take vengeance on Thor for stabbing him in the chest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
And I love the end scene because it's very much him sitting on the steps at the very end of the end.
Yeah. And it also is his vision. Like it was the fulfillment of his vision, of like his end goal. My question about the Asgardians is, did Korg, Meek, and Valkyrie survive the attack?
We don't know.
Yeah, we don't know.
No, I'm just saying.
Yeah.
And
I like that we don't know.
I'm okay.
Because the ship is like broken up. You don't know where who is where.
You were told half of them survived, but you don't know which one.
I know, and Thor specifically says he killed half of the Asgardians.
Right. They make a point to say that. Seeing, look, Thor, a lot of his jokes didn't land for me. Bothered me.
Like, see you later, morons.
Yeah. A lot of that rubbed me the wrong way. The rabbit shit, I was okay with.
Yeah, I actually I thought that was good.
It was funny. But
actually, did he say
Peter Dinklage?
rabbit?
I can't remember. But Thor Unleashed.
That was fucking bad.
I've been waiting my entire life for that moment.
Yeah.
Like, that's
like awesome.
That's an orgasm moment.
Yeah, it's like King Thor.
Yeah. And it's like, it reminded me of, I don't even know if it was a real Thor or not, it doesn't matter, but it reminded me of when he comes down in Civil War. Like when you really... Like,
that was the evil Thor.
Right. But still...
Yeah.
It's that moment.
Like a lion,
I fucking love that shit.
And dude, I miss Mjolnir, but I'm kind of feeling this new...
Dude, I like the fact they had Groot make the handle. That was cool.
Yeah, that was neat.
And
because you know what? Groot wasn't fucking doing anything. I was starting to bug me.
I was like...
When he was walking in there before they made it, and he just still had the video game... I got like my daughter, her favorite character is Groot. She fucking loves Groot. So I am a little bit like, why they had to kill Groot. Yeah. I mean, you kill Spider-Man, you got to kill Groot too.
Yeah. It's true.
And I was shocked that she was okay. She's like, they're gonna bring him back. It's fine. Yeah. She's like, I've seen one Groot die. I can see another one die. No big deal. Psychopath, that one.
I am Groot.
Psychopath.
I am Steve Rogers.
Yeah, that was fucking tight. But like, the fact that he finally fucking did something, and that does make me want that fucking Hot Toys fucking Thor now.
Yeah.
I mean, that...
I think if I want a Hot Toy Thor, I need the hammer.
But he's got that fucking axe, bro.
No, I know.
I hear you. You can probably buy that off.
Or custom or something.
Yeah.
But yeah, that moment was like, it was everything I wanted it to be.
Yeah. I am a little disappointed that we didn't get the Captain have his shield back.
Yeah. That's the thing from the comics, because he shatters. I wanted that moment.
Yep.
The other one I wanted was the time stop that he
maybe they're saving it for later.
Yeah, that's true.
There's always another movie.
So there's like 4 elements that I was hoping they would bring in that they could still do, and one was Adam Warlock. The other one was I wanted to feature the Collector and the Grandmaster at least once in there, because they're 2 of the elder characters.
Yeah.
And
the Collector was there.
Yeah, the Collector was there.
Yeah, but the Grandmaster's fucking... they kind of fucked him up.
Yeah, they did. They kind of reversed their characters, and they never said they're brothers like they are in the comics.
Well, they definitely alluded to it.
Really?
They've alluded to it unofficially, because they didn't have the same like lip tattoos.
Oh yeah, that's true.
So they are.
I love the Red Skull that I expected.
Let's talk about that.
Was awesome.
Yeah,
you've been calling that for a long time.
Yeah, I expected it to be in there.
But like, I was talking to you about it, and Adam's been saying that from day one, that fucking Red Skull is not dead.
I was waiting for the Asgardian prison in Thor 2, and they didn't do it.
Yeah.
But what's interesting to me about it is he was, like, I think he looks absurd in the first Captain America movie. And I don't mean just effects-wise. I just think...
It's a hard sell.
It's a hard sell because it's so hyper-real during this war that's, like, probably the most... exposed war ever. Like I feel like right now, if we turn the TV on, we can find something on World War II.
Yep, I agree.
So it's just like when it's like, yeah, like I know this war so well. I see images of this war so much. I watch movies about this war so much. And then here's this guy with a big giant red head and a bunch of fucking Starship Troopers. It's like, wait, what? It kills that movie for me. Mm-hmm. Seeing him here in this context, in this world, in the way that Marvel has evolved from this more realistic kind of let me spoon feed you this fantastic world to now we can just do whatever the fuck we want. It's like, I'm in.
Yeah.
I buy he was basically like floating. He wasn't even walking.
Yep. I was like,
so he had some kind of extra power.
I'm like, I'm in. Yeah. I understand.
And we don't know. We don't know what's happened to him.
Yeah, we don't know. I'd be curious.
So the interesting bit with that we talked about is, do you think that he was on his own journey to find the soul gem, but because he doesn't really love anything, he can't wants to have it? Because he makes kind of a comment. He's like, that's my curse is to, and and there's also some kind of cosmic knowing because he knew everybody. Yeah. He knew Thanos, he knew Gamora. So there's,
I guess it has something to do with the Tesseract. And
I mean, it is the space gem.
Having been able to touch one of the Infinity Stones and not instantly die.
Yeah. And then that whole thing, like I love that moment where.
And also remember,
he's crying and Gamora's like, "This is your fucking luck."
Yeah, and the switch,
and then Red Skull's like, "He's not crying for himself."
Yeah. No. Yeah.
Like that,
he knew automatically. Why
dude, the way that's done, that whole sequence is like just grabbing her by the arm and she's screaming no, and he's forcing her, and it mirrors
she tried to kill herself to negate it, and makes the knife disappear,
and it mirrors that walk that he had with her when he first met her. And like, there's so much beauty to that shit.
Yeah. And you know what I gotta say about the special effects for Thanos? He looked fucking awesome. Mm-hmm. And I I was kind of like, oh man, he's not the right color purple. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like when you first see him, like how he's changed over the
he's significantly
movies.
changed from the comic anyway.
But it's fine. It's like
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm at the point now.
It's done so well. It doesn't matter.
I realized I love Josh Brolin as the character, and I love the fact that they gave him pupils because I didn't know how they were going to do it. Because in the comics, he doesn't have pupils; he's just black eyes.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
But they humanize him a little bit, but it doesn't.
It was needed though.
Because he becomes the heart of the story.
Yeah, he's not just.
And I mean, Joe is like sold.
Oh yeah.
Joe was like, he put up hashtag Thanos is right. Yeah, like he's like he wants a Hot Toys Thanos. Like he's like because Joe, when it comes to shit like that, he's very pragmatic. Like and I'm like, no, man, you can't kill one to save a million. You violate your own principle by doing it. And Joe's like, I'll kill one to save two. But it is funny because it does come down to that, right? It does come down to the kill one to save 1,000 or whatever that old phrase is. Yeah, and dude, that's one of those things. It's just such a primal concept, maybe, but like it always works for me.
Yeah,
like it never not works. Like I'm always like engaged.
Because it's one of those things where it's like the evil is possibly good.
Yeah,
and like it makes you have those internal like. There's a point to this.
Yeah, it gives you a good viewpoint of the villain from their perspective.
Yeah, and like it was done very well, and I think everybody was honored in their own way. Like not for nothing too, I'm gonna say this. I really like Doctor Strange in this.
Oh, I love him in this.
Awesome.
I love him in this.
And
it makes Raisinhead totally worth it.
Yeah, and it does.
I really want him to get a second film.
I want him to get a second film too. The interaction between him and Tony. The interesting thing is like these are probably the two most smartest individuals in this planet. You know, not to say I know. T'Challa is supposed to be the smartest person in
the Marvel universe.
Banner's up there too, so.
How was that?
Banner's up there too.
Yeah. But I think it's always it's back and forth between.
I don't like how they've not made T'Challa as smart as he is in the comics. Like they made his sister the genius. I disagree with that.
Yeah. So, but like
in Reed
to see. Reed. Well, I thought Reed was supposed to be the smartest.
Reed is technically supposed to be the smartest person on Earth, even potentially more so than the leader, who's enhanced intelligence.
Yeah,
I don't think he's smarter than T'Challa.
I've seen.
I think they changed that recently.
Like pop up 3. Like I've seen this list popping up, and it's changed each time I've seen it.
They changed it to Reed recently because this is some time ago that T'Challa was definitely. Well, I mean, I'm
going to say from like 1960 to 1990. Reed has been the smartest.
Yeah, I'd have to look into it, but I know that T'Challa because I was corrected.
I looked it up recently. It's some female.
It's the little girl, Moon Girl.
Reed's daughter.
No. Moon
Okay.
Girl.
Moon Girl.
The one with Devil
right.
Dinosaur.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like now she's number one.
Because the
It's
big
like-
ones for me were always Reed, Banner, T'Challa, Stark, and the leader.
Like, I know Stark is the
Doom.
most engineering sound.
Yeah.
Like, mechanically intelligent. You know? I think Reed was like the most mathematically intelligent. Like, they try to break it down or something like that. But it has changed. I want to see some fucking Illuminati. That's what I want to see.
Dude, reach! And they can do it now.
If they're going to do the scrolls, I think that's how they have to do it.
Yes.
But is Stark going to stick around?
Well, here's the thing. So let's get into anything else about the movie that we want to speak about before we go.
What is your guys' opinions on not using Hela in place of Death? Because I wanted to see
that, but it didn't bother
because I
me.
love
did.
Kate Blanchett as that character. And I thought that's what they were setting up for.
I wish it was that way, but the Thanos Gamora story is far more intimate and more interesting. So I actually
I didn't know if that was going to be too dark
Yeah.
for a general audience film or not.
If you would have told me about this change beforehand, I would have been like, oh, they missed a huge opportunity.
Yeah.
But seeing the way they did it, I'm like, they're right. They're right.
Yeah.
But I do want to say this. When you were talking about, it was you that mentioned that everybody got a moment.
Yeah, pretty much.
And I agree, but I wanted to say the one thing that I really appreciated is the amount of great introductions that they were able to do. Because, like, that's not always easy to do.
Yeah.
And, like Cap gets a great introduction.
Yes.
Yeah.
T'Challa gets a great introduction. Thor gets a great introduction. Like, the Guardians get a great introduction. Like so many of them get, like,
Spider-Man.
this- Spider-Man.
Dude, love that, man.
There's so many.
What's wrong with your kids? You never seen a spaceship before?
Oh yeah, dude.
There's so many classic, like I feel like, shit that's going to be imitated.
Yeah.
And
definitely,
it's so
Don
masterfully
Cheadle, though,
done.
needs to put on a little bit of weight. And I'm not talking about muscle
I
mass.
think he's getting old, man.
I think
he's starting to look old.
He's starting to look
like-
old, yeah.
like late 50s.
Yeah.
Is he that old? I didn't think he was that old. Oh.
He needs to go eat some cheeseburgers.
Black don't crack, baby.
I know, right?
Yeah. But there was two other things. One, because I'm forgetting all the ins and outs of Guardians Volume 2, because basically, in the way they played out in the movies, Quill is half God. He's half a Celestial.
Yeah.
So why they didn't incorporate any of that, because he would be an obvious person to use something like that against Thanos.
Well, he did mention in Guardians 2, Ego did tell him, if this dies, you will become mortal like everybody. You will be like everybody else.
Because that seems like
So we don't know yet.
Guardians
I
2.
have a sneaky suspicion that Ego can't be killed,
Yeah.
and that Ego will fuse back
So
together.
yeah, they could
eventually.
still do that in the second film.
Or Quill, his powers will eventually manifest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But I think it's open enough that he could be a normal human now, or he could be some space planet being in the future.
There is
Let's not talk about that because it upsets Bobby.
Well, yeah, that's true. There is something I want to mention about one other thing is like, I do feel like with how much I'm in love with this Thanos Gamora relationship, I wish they would have capitalized more on it in both Guardians films for me. Like, I feel like there's a lot of
Missed opportunity.
air and opportunity, for lack of a better term.
I do have a sneaky suspicion, though. I do think that we're going to see a dramatic reset of the universe, which will have ramifications to where it will take, I know for a fact, because we've seen, spoiler alert, but we've seen the pictures, they definitely go back to the original Invasion, so there's pictures of the fourth film of them on set, and Captain America's back in the original, modern Cap blue suit and whatnot. So that might be a way they incorporate the Fantastic Four in the other universes, because it might cause realities to blend together.
I really wanted to see the Netflix stuff too.
Yeah.
Like one quick scene or Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. or something, and they didn't do it. So.
No, I was a little, but you know what? At the same time, I had so much, I wasn't hungry anymore.
No, I wasn't
You know
really
what I mean?
hungry anymore, but I was really waiting for just one shot.
They could have. I mean, when the attack happened in New York,
Yeah.
they could have just shown, like, even if it was like an Easter egg, like,
Yeah,
they're there.
Yeah,
like
at the very end with Fury and
or that.
they could have shown him in the background there.
Yeah,
I mean,
like that would have been a nice fan
And
service.
do you watch Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. anymore?
I'm a season behind. I plan on catching up just to see.
Yeah,
what they
I
do
might
with
have to
it.
catch up here soon because I want to see what happens.
Because
with
the
that.
fourth season was, I liked what they did with it.
Is that was the
just
Lady Hydra?
Yeah, where they go into the artificial world.
Yeah.
So we want to move on to predictions.
Yeah, we got one other thing.
Yeah, I had one other thing. the fight scene where Cap is introduced was a great introduction for him, but I think the more powerful Black Order characters were just taken out very easily by. And I was like, what happened?
I feel like they threw the one dude away. The no-nose face.
Oh yeah, that they definitely threw away. But
he was compelling.
All those characters.
Space?
Yeah, like I liked him. Like
I liked him too. I liked the way he got fucking because I liked the way he got killed.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. I just wish it would have been one of the other two. That was far less interesting.
Oh yeah. I think he was too powerful though.
Because they don't delve into those characters at all. They're basically throwaways, which is disappointing because they're
cool characters.
They're cool characters and they're all powerful. Yeah, they're supposed to be Black Order.
Okay.
They still gave one an action figure.
Yeah, they give them all action figures. The second Build-A-Figure wave is the big guy.
Oh yeah.
But nobody cares about him. But
dude, like, the fight scenes were so good.
And I love the
Tony's armor. I fucking love that.
The nanotech.
They fucking did it. Yeah. They fucking. That's what I wanted to see.
They went all the way.
They went all the way.
They went all the way with
Extremis
with a lot
on screen.
Yeah, it was Extremis. But you know the funny thing is, it's with all this. And it still can't save you. You know what I mean? A little cut of blood. I love blood. So they had to make him powerful enough to go, toe to toe with Thanos in the Infinity Gauntlet, and they did it. But at the same time, it didn't fucking matter.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? They had their cake and eat it too with that battle.
It's that Vader Rogue One balance.
Yeah,
of not overdoing it, but giving you what you need.
Perfect.
Because it showed by the end, his armor was depleting. He only had so many nanoparticles.
Yeah.
And the fact they gave Parker the
iron. And you know what? That worked too.
Loved it.
That was cool.
And the legs worked.
I hate the legs in all the comics, and I loved it in the movie. It made it seem practical. It seemed like it made sense. It had purpose.
Cool. It was good. It was really good. The one thing that I did want to have is that scene where all of the Avengers are together. That they've done that for every other one, and we didn't get that because half of the team was on Titan and then half of the team was on Earth. But I'm looking forward to it in episode 4.
So, I'm still waiting in the sequel for him to do the time stop where everybody attacks him at once, and he snaps his fingers and stops time and just walking around everybody as they're in place.
Yeah,
that was an iconic scene from the books.
My guess, though, all right, so anything, Dante? Because before we get into predictions, I got a bunch.
One thing that I really enjoyed is with the deaths, like not the disappearing deaths, but like the characters that were killed at Thanos' hand. There's emotion to it. There's like big emotions to it. Like with Loki, you got Thor.
Oh yeah, we talked about that.
The Gamora that actually choked me up. It was just like looking at that really like hit. And in Vision's death with Wanda there, it was just all very. Just so much emotion to it. And I'm a sucker for stuff like that.
I think Loki specifically, I'm like proud of his death.
Yeah.
Like you saw him. He's still Loki. He's still the trickster.
Yeah.
But he did fucking change, man.
Yeah.
And he tried to like fucking stop it.
He was gonna try and stop it as best he could. And
I like that they acknowledged that they were in once cahoots.
Yeah.
Like they have this history. Because like when I was watching in the beginning, I was like, why are we pretending that we're strangers here?
Yeah.
Like there's a working relationship you two must have to some. But and then they acknowledge it. And like
failure.
Yep.
Is that your experience?
Yep.
Experience is my experience.
Yeah.
That was tight. And the fact that even though he was there to help Thor in a way, he still had the fucking Tesseract.
Yeah.
He's
still out for himself.
He can't help himself.
You're the worst brother.
Yeah, he can't help himself. Yeah. And so, all right, predictions. So there's definitely, it's already kind of spoiled that there's some time travel, but we know, and I know much to Bobby's chagrin about time travel, we know that it's going to have to get undone. Things are going to have to get undone because they become undone in the original Infinity Gauntlet. Everybody comes back to life.
I think the key is Doctor Strange. He's the one that saw all the possible outcomes.
Yes.
He's the one that tells Tony at the end it had to be done.
Yeah. Yep.
As he's dying, basically.
So I think he's the one. He's going to be the one with the master plan.
So my guesstimate is that somehow the Avengers will be transported back in time, but I think it's going to be their consciousness.
Oh, into their old bodies?
Yes.
Okay.
Because all of the Avengers, the original Avengers, are still alive.
Yeah.
Right? So I think maybe Tony was able to study, his armor was able to study the time gem while he was with Doctor Strange or whatever. Something,
Dude, what if all the Avengers stopped Thanos at the Battle of New York?
I mean, I think that's probably, but I think there's going to be effects too.
Yeah, what are the ramifications?
Because I'm thinking Doctor Strange could have put some kind of spell
on the time gem
to allow them to do that.
Yeah,
and that's why this is the only way.
Yeah, this sets them up.
They say that Ant-Man is actually in one of the shots too for when they go back to the Battle of New York.
Oh yeah, that's right. He is there.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm real curious how their movie is going to play out, Ant-Man and Wasp. If it's going to happen as this is going on and they're dealing with all the deaths.
I think it happens before.
Or is it going to be
I think it happens before.
I think it's going to be like a before, but it kind of
because I think both. It maybe it ends with like half the population disappearing. Maybe it ends with it probably is going to end like the bonus scene of Wasp disappearing or something like that, or Hank disappearing.
Who is Well, there was a recast also that I wanted to talk about. Somebody was recast.
Oh, because Coulson's supposed to be in the fourth movie too.
Yeah, he is.
Yeah. So that would, but he could be
tied together.
But he could be in the past because
he was part of you.
Yeah.
It, from what I saw or read, he's in like one of the older scenes, like the flashback. I think they said around the whole Battle of New York stuff too.
But it will be interesting if they go back in time. But the effect of it is that everybody has memory of the next 4 years.
Yeah, that's true.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, Loki remembers who he was, Thanos remembers where he was, and he knows where to go get everything. So, they're fighting to stop him, but then Vision hasn't been created yet, because the Scepter's there. Are they going to make Vision? Are they going to do, or it might be where
the twins won't
have any powers. Yeah. So, it might be something, too, where they have to go back and just change a couple little things in preparation for it. So they might be in the Battle of New York for a hot second, and Tony's in his body, does something.
It was Red Skull. It was recast.
Oh, really? It wasn't Hugo Weaver?
No.
Huh.
I was wondering if that was his voice or not.
Yeah.
It was somebody who could imitate him, but it wasn't.
Yeah, I would have never guessed that.
Yeah.
So, are they jumping back from time to time, and they have to let the time go by a certain way so there's not a paradox?
Yeah, that's true. That'll be interesting.
It'll be and apparently it's supposed to be bigger.
What if it ends with fucking Tony on that pile of them?
Oh yeah,
that he predicts from Age of Ultron. Yeah,
and that's how they stop him, but it's also how they get rid of that initial cast.
Maybe
that'd be rough.
That'd be crazy.
Some fucked up person.
Yeah, that would be really crazy.
But it would also be fucking amazing.
Yeah.
My prediction though is with this movie, at one point when the battle stops, they're gonna hit a reset button and we're gonna have the new Marvel universe.
Yeah.
And Tony's gonna look a little bit different. Recast. Cap is a little bit different.
Thor's gonna look a little different.
Thor's gonna look a little different.
Ruffalo's contract isn't up yet. I don't believe.
Ruffalo's is not.
No, and they have plans for other
because they've over the course of the past 3 movies, they've done a story arc that's good for him, where it finally shows him as a multiple personality disorder.
Yes,
which I love because it's one of my favorites.
What's everybody's theory on Hulk right now?
Are they going to separate him?
I think he's scared because he got beat.
Yes, I think so too.
He's like, I'm not the strongest anymore. I don't know why he's Yoda.
I think that's it. And I would love to see one shot of inside Banner's head, because they do it in the comics all the time, where he's talking separate and they're talking and they're trying to hash it out. That would be awesome, because I'm a huge Hulk fan.
Yeah.
Or if they have to change him in some way and you see like a version of the Grey Hulk come out where it's another personality that takes over. That would be an interesting.
How would we like when he's Hulk, he's Banner, and when he gets angry? No, when he's green, he's Banner's personality, but when he gets angry, he turns back into Hulk, but he's Banner's body.
They did that
for a while. Yeah,
that was his safety catch.
Yeah.
Because they did like a 4th personality where it's the Professor personality, where Banner's body controls the Hulk and can't allow himself to get too angry. He basically has the Green Hulk strength all the time, except he can't allow himself to get angry because he'll lose control.
That'd be tight. And so he rages out. He turns back into Banner.
Yeah. It was ridiculous, but it made sense.
It was awesome.
It
was awesome. Yeah. It was funny, man.
Because there's people who end up using that against him.
So I do wish this Hulk got madder and got bigger. You know what I mean?
I don't like the size change, because he's never changed size in the books.
Well,
only
he gets stronger. He gets stronger.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Did the dwarf that makes the weapons, is that all canon?
That's
I don't know about. I think
That's canon,
yes,
but
that is canon.
they don't look like that.
But yeah, they are large, but they're on Asgard. It's not like they've.
Well, they're part of the Nine Realms.
Yeah, they're part of the Nine Realms. And
Yeah.
as far as I know, they were on Asgard, and they didn't make the gauntlet. The gauntlet was always part of Thanos' original costume.
Right.
Yeah.
Just put this.
I do like
But-
that spin. But they
Yeah,
make-
that's
they
a
make-
good spin.
I do.
And I like how because Thor was really a non-issue in the comics.
Yeah.
Thanos made him disappear, basically. Well, I mean, at the time, it wasn't the original Thor. It was the Eric Masterson version, so he was tied to a human. And Thanos made the hammer disappear, and without the hammer, he became human and almost died.
Yeah. He couldn't breathe.
So, he was not...
They changed that canon later that Eric Masterson was always Thor, but Odin sent him to Earth to be humble and made him forget that he was Thor.
Well, Eric Masterson became Thunderstrike in the late 90s.
I'm sorry. Donaldson.
Donald Blake was the
Donald
original
Blake.
Thor.
Yeah.
He did,
You're talking about the Thor with the beard.
Yeah, that was
hair.
Eric Masterson,
Yes.
late 80s into the 90s.
Yeah. I'm talking about Blake.
But
I like that.
Yeah,
that he was always Thor.
What about favorite moment or scene?
I don't know, man. There's so many.
Yeah.
Like, damn.
The scene where
Top three.
where they almost get it off, get the glove off,
Yeah.
and
That was good, yeah.
And Quill loses it when he finds out about Gamora, because that's one close thing to the comics where everybody's on him at
Oh
once.
no, dude, I got it. It was. I'm so invisible right now. I'm moving.
That was a joke I could stand behind. That
was the one they could have cut.
I couldn't stand by
They could have cut that bit.
Yeah, they could have got that for me. For me, it's Thanos taking Gamora to the cliff.
Yeah.
Thor coming down in the middle of the battle.
Thor coming down in the middle of the battle.
Fucking shit up, bro.
And then my last one is, dude, is just because of my investment in this franchise, but it's Bucky looking over at him and going, Steve.
Yeah.
And then
disappearing.
Like it's like
Yeah.
and
Spider-Man
dying in Stark's arms. I was
dude,
like,
that
oh my
one,
God,
I was like,
no way.
that didn't do anything.
Dude, I was like, you
But Spider-Man's one of my favorites.
while that was
Oh,
happening,
wow.
I thought that he was just being a hypochondriac.
Yeah.
And I was like, they don't have the balls to do that.
Yeah,
they
I
don't
was
have the
like,
balls.
oh my God, they're gonna do it.
And I thought it was going to be a joke like, kid, snap out of it, you're fine. And everybody else is disappearing.
Yeah.
And when he fucking disappeared, like,
See, for me, I had the exact
you just
same
hate
mindset.
teenagers.
No, I love Spider-Man in these fucking movies, but I had the exact same mindset. I was like, they don't have the balls to do it.
Yeah.
So when they killed him, I was like, yeah, they don't have the balls to do this. He's coming back. Like,
Well,
it didn't resonate with me. And it's the same thing with T'Challa. Like, as soon as
I know T'Challa's coming back.
as soon as
but
he
that
went,
was a ballsy move.
as soon as T'Challa went away, I was like, oh,
yeah.
because at that point, none of it meant the same to me. Like, I have to admit that. I
You
think
have
it's
a
cool that they
high,
did it.
you have a high benchmark for cliffhangers.
No, I think it's a cliffhanger.
Okay.
I think it's a cliffhanger for sure. I just know the outcome.
Okay.
You know, like,
My question is, how many films is Holland slated for?
see,
It
now
was
that's a
only
good
3.
question because of the complications involved with that deal. There is an element of
And
that might be the end.
they're doing Spider-Verse at the end of the year. It's an animated film, but that's where they're introducing
Miles.
they're introducing Miles as the main character in that.
Well,
so
it's-
are they
it-
really going to replace Parker full time with Miles?
So how many does Holland have? Only 3?
Yeah,
He's already
supposedly
completed that.
only 3. Which
and
is
that would be all
this is
3?
the third one. This is it. So I was like, are they really? To me, I think they have to bring him back, but not necessarily. So this could be it for him.
Yeah.
I'm almost certain I saw something about him being in the Spider-Man sequel, though.
Yeah,
Like,
that's what I
Yeah,
thought too.
they
But I
do
wasn't
have a
sure.
Spider-Man
But yeah,
sequel
it's like
that
now
part.
that I'm thinking about it, I was like,
Yeah.
I don't
know, 'cause-
know.
Yeah, but you know what? He might have 3 with Sony and 3 with Marvel.
That's true.
Well-
I'd love him to show up just for one scene in Venom.
Yeah.
There was something I read a while back when the deal started off.
Yeah.
Where
I want to
guess,
say it's 6.
Is it?
I want to
Okay.
say it is. Continue, Dante.
like
Research.
it, and again, I don't know how true it is or what's to it, but they're basically saying that once his deal with Marvel ends, once the deal with Sony and Marvel ends for Spider-Man, it's for Peter Parker.
Okay.
So there's always the ideal that because it's
Miles
already
could
been
be used.
mentioned
right-
in the other one that
right now
Miles
it's-
is in that world.
It's 5.
Okay.
Mark Ruffalo has a 6-film deal. So Avengers 1, Avengers 2. He was in Iron Man
is it?
3.
Yeah.
He was in Wasn't in Civil War.
No,
was in Thor Ragnarok, and then he was in this. So he's already done 5. He's only got 1 left. Oh, number 4.
Yeah.
So he might be done. Go
ahead.
I'm sorry. Tom Holland is a 6 film deal.
Okay.
You know when you sign up for Star Wars now, you sign up for a 3-film deal.
Wow.
Yeah.
So like it's in your initial contract. So like Felicity, is signed for 3 films. But the like the insiders, people like the people that report on this shit all the time are like the reason why is because Disney's trying to avoid any potential issues down the line. So like if they do an episode 13 and somebody stumbles across some secret data shit, they can bring her up in a hologram to be like, get out of such and they don't have to worry about the contract obligations.
Well, that was one thing with Captain America, or what was it, Chris Evans, when they were talking about his contract, and he popped up in Thor: Dark World, like very briefly.
Oh yeah.
There's one obligation taken care of. So how many more films you got? Oh, 4?
Yeah.
All right.
I wonder what constitutes that though.
Because Ruffalo shows up just for the end credit scene. And is that I've been told that constitutes as an appearance by people in the industry.
Yeah. Well, I would imagine that people in the industry, I mean, like the managers, the agents, and all that shit are like,
oh yeah, he's getting paid.
You know, no, I'm saying like, there's one bitch.
Yeah.
How many more do you want him in?
Yeah.
You know, just because money.
But I do know because I saw an interview with fucking dreamy Hugh Jackman, and I think it was Spider-Man 3. He was going to make
he was going to do a walk-on,
and he was going to do it for free. He just
in the Raimi Spider-Man 3.
In the Raimi Spider-Man, like, he was going to bump into Peter Parker like when he was dancing and shit.
Oh, nice!
And like, what are you doing, kid? Like, but they couldn't find the jacket, or whatever. They couldn't get the costume over there,
and
so he couldn't do it. But he's like, oh yeah, I'd have done it. I'd have gone in there and knocked it out.
That would have been a ballsy move.
That would have been awesome.
And then that kid was like, why is there this man walking around with no shirt on in the street? That makes me sad.
This hairy dude.
Yeah.
With a cigar in his mouth.
So, any other theories?
I
don't think Thanos will be able to use the glove again. Like all,
you don't
like,
think so?
Well, he'll be able to use the powers individually, but I think he won't be able to. The gauntlet has been.
That'll
used
be
up.
an interesting replacement for the Living Tribunal, since they've mentioned him in Doctor Strange.
Yes, with the staff.
Yeah,
the staff
but
of the Tribunal.
I don't know how they would do that for the general audience. And that would be because that's the character that inhibited them from being used in unison.
And maybe the Living Tribunal did it, and maybe like Thanos gets pulled to him, and then maybe he scatters a gem, and then it's a race. Oh, I guarantee you, it's going to be the Infinity Crusade. Is the title?
Oh,
that's my theory.
Oh, really?
I've been thinking.
Or do you think the
You don't
think they're going to call it the Infinity Gauntlet at this point?
Mm-mm.
Okay.
I think it will depend on our
Crusade.
situation with the Middle East, because we might want to ixnay on the Crusade.
I'm really hoping they bring in Adam Warlock at least in the next one.
Yeah, but they said no Adam Warlock for Guardians 3. Maybe they're saving it for Guardians for this movie for Avengers 4.
Maybe it's this and done.
Because Volume 3 Guardians, I heard the prediction was it was supposed to be the original team from the 90s, not because that's what they introduced with Stallone at the very end. That's the original team.
Okay.
Other than Yondu. Yondu was the only original team member in the movie.
And
so far.
they might bring Yondu back.
Yeah, that's true.
If he didn't die.
Yeah, from the stone.
Yeah.
Stones.
4 stones. Not 1, not 2, not 3, but 4. Those little things. Look around.
Great jobs.
Jobs. feed their families.
I think that'll do it.
Is that it?
I think so.
Oh, okay. All right. You hungry?
I am a little hungry.
I can see. You get a little pale. Blood sugar's down.
That's just because I don't go outside. No phone outside.
All right, guys. So thank you, too, for stopping by.
It was great.
Enjoyed this a lot. And stay tuned, guys. We got a little more show left for you.
That's true. 25 minutes more.
Yeah, 25 minutes more. But you're going to have to wait 15 minutes to hear it.
And I come in the end with a great entrance like I was in Infinity War.
And with that said, guys, great tits.
Fuck, it's to the left again.
Velvety vagina.
Oh, fuck.
Velvety.
What the fuck?
Dude.
Nice.
Makes me want sex.
Wax buttholes.
Tight dick player.
And welcome to episode 140 of Nerd Rage Radio with your host, Adam Russman. Bobby Skullface and Marilyn Phil will be joining me, but I'd like to welcome my special guest, Dante the Destroyer. I don't know why I just added that little destroyer bit at the end, you know what I mean? You've been rear choking motherfuckers here recently?
Oh, no, I actually strained my groin.
Oh, did you?
I'm out of commission for a little bit of time. I'm going back Monday, but
yeah. You got to be a little gentle.
You can't be doing splits and shit like that.
I mean, that's the one thing good about jiu-jitsu is you can maintain it, for a long time. Yeah. You get some of these old heads that are still like, and especially if you're rolling with some experienced dudes. But regardless about the jiu-jitsu stuff, how do you get hot dogs recently?
So,
before we hit record, we were talking about IKEA's food. So.
Sarah gets these maybe Applewood hot dogs. Some
okay.
Like she's like, they're good. They're like some
special fancy ass hot dogs. Hey man, that's some stupid white people shit right there.
Yeah, because I'm all about the ballpark joint.
Yeah,
so
man.
Like, she was getting these, and there's 6 in the pack.
Okay,
and that fucking pisses me off because
there's 8 rolls.
That, but also when I eat hot dogs, I'm a 4 hot dog guy. Mm-hmm. So if there's 6 in the pack,
yeah. Got to stay up on that mic bit.
If there's 6 in the pack, I feel like, well, I'm going to definitely have 4.
Yeah.
But I might want 5.
Yeah.
If there's 8 in the pack, I'm definitely going to have 5. But I took a bite to a Royal Farm hot dog, as I was telling Adam earlier, and I looked at the center of it just because I'm dumb. It was a horrible idea. I will. When I did that, I stopped eating hot dogs for like 3 years.
Yeah,
it was.
Shout out to Royal Farms, our sponsor for this episode.
I'm gonna go over there like, so what's up on that box of chicken? I mentioned you on Nerd Rage, son. Like, here, look.
So, dude, we got a lot to talk about today. We're gonna get into the whole Infinity War. Which I gotta check the numbers though. I think they've been crushing it. So we had a good time watching that. But we'll see what's going on. But it has been quite a nerd-tastic week. You know what I mean? For sure.
It's weird after seeing the movie. Mm-hmm. With the Marvel Cinematic Universe in itself, it's culturally just changed everything. Yeah. You got people who are fans. Yeah. You got people who were fans growing up of comics that are now coming out. Because at the movie, there's a lady sitting next to me with her kid. Yeah. And before the movie starts, she goes, "Do you think we're going to see Captain Marvel?" Yeah. And I took a double take. I was like, "Ooh, yeah, like really? Like you on it like that?" And I was like, "Oh, I doubt it. We might get like a cameo, a mention or something, but we're not gonna. I don't think we're gonna see her." Yeah. And it's exciting to hear stuff like that. I was on Instagram looking at the Insta stories, and a lot of people in my branch off community jiu-jitsu that were going to the movies. And it was good to see that. It was interesting because I put up something about it, and someone commented. I was like, "Oh, your dork is showing." Mm-hmm. I commented. I was like, "I'm okay with that. That's me. I'm not gonna hide what I was into, but it's good seeing people into it like that."
It's funny, man. Even in a professional environment, it's becoming more of a thing that people talk about. Like I got people at work who are like executives who are like bringing it up in conversation. You know what I mean? Like sitting around like, "Hey man, anybody go see Infinity War this weekend?" And I'd already seen it. This was Friday. Yeah. And I was like, "Oh, I saw it. It was good. It was really good." And like, I don't want to ruin anything for anybody, but like, it's definitely bold and doing some shit that we never thought that they would do. We'll get into it a little bit later, but it's fucking crazy, man.
So my district manager, we Friday mornings we have a meeting before work starts up, and he actually one of the screenshots or slideshows or whatever, he put up the Infinity War poster, and like my manager don't give a fuck. Yeah. I was like, oh shit. Yeah, He didn't really talk about it, but the fact that he put it up there and like kind of likening everybody to one of the heroes on the poster.
Yeah. It's in the zeitgeist, man, and people are fucking thinking about it for real. Yeah. So, but I'm curious to see how the numbers are. We'll pull that up here a little bit later on the old boxofficemojo.com. Nerd Rage Radio is brought to you by boxofficemojo.com.
Another sponsor.
Yeah. talk about sponsorship later. Dude, not for nothing, I'm trying to open up boxofficemojo.com, and I'm going to nerdrageradio.com, which we don't have a website yet, so don't waste y'all's time, unless this is an older podcast. And yeah, please check it out, because I'm sure it's fucking awesome. But anyway, so dude, I have been feeling the like comic book movie burnout recently.
Yeah.
And oh shit, opening weekend showdown. Fucking Avengers just took Maryland Phil's in the building. He's giving out free hugs. It just beat fucking Star Wars. It's at $250 million.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Holy fuck. Just became Avengers Infinity War delivers 105.9 million opening day, targeting 240 plus million opening weekend. Updated with Friday estimates, two films have topped 200 million mark over the course of the last 5 months. Star Wars: Last Jedi and Black Panther. And this is fucking them up, bro. Hey, dude, your mic is on.
Oh,
sit down
I
right
didn't
there.
know if you wanted me to sit here.
Yeah. Why don't you get your face
involved?
Yeah.
Are you in there?
Now move your mouth around that tip a little bit to find a good spot.
Can you hear me? Am I here, guys?
Don't forget to play with the balls.
Oh, man. Jiggle it just a little bit.
Bite me down.
Bobby ran out to grab some juice.
Oh yeah, some grape juice.
Yeah, because we have the gin here. He needs to go get some juice so we can have the proper gin and juice. That's the goal.
Okay.
So Phil, what's going on, man? We're here waiting. We decided to give a little bonus. Maybe this will be at the end of the podcast after we talk. So anything we talk about now, we will probably talk about again. Or we might leave this at the beginning. I haven't made my mind up yet. You never know what you're going to get us. This might be a Patreon exclusive. So,
all right.
Surprises are always fun.
Yeah.
So what did you guys already talk about?
Actually, jiu-jitsu, hot dogs.
Okay.
How many hot dogs Dante can fit in his mouth at one time, which is 5.
So
which is 5.
So if any guys are feeling, like taking a risk, don't try it. I'll fuck you up.
It's like Chubby Bunny with hot dogs instead of marshmallows.
Oh, man.
So I managed to see Infinity War a second time yesterday.
Oh, did you?
Yeah, and originally I was supposed to go with my roommate, and he had to bail.
Yeah.
I ended up seeing it on my own in 3D.
Yeah.
And I ended up sitting some random lady.
Some rando?
Random lady.
Yeah.
That sat next
Turn
to
it
me.
cockeye that mic a little bit.
Is that better?
Yeah, a little bit. Now straighten your head out, though.
Is that better?
Better. There you go.
All right. And she was the spitting image of Deadpool's roommate in the movies, the old lady.
Oh,
Except
really?
she didn't have the blind glasses like she could see, but I could have sworn she was that lady. It was hilarious.
Did you ask her?
No.
You should have asked her.
She had like a pile of food with her. And as soon as the trailer started, they did the Venom trailer.
Yeah.
And before he dons the mask at the end of the trailer, she's like, "Oh, that's Venom." I said, "Yeah, you're right." I said, "This is gonna be a riot." I was thinking to myself, and then like when the Stan Lee part in the movie pops up in
you guys ever seen spaceships?
Yeah. She's like, "Who's that?" I was like, "That's Stan Lee." And then she's like, "Who's that?" I said, "That's Spider-Man." He said, "Spider-Man?" Yeah, it's Spider-Man. That was about it. But this lady, I don't know how much she had seen, but she was obviously an older person.
Yeah.
And I was like,
but she was digging it?
Yeah, she was digging it. She's like, she didn't stay for the end credit stuff.
Okay.
But she was digging the movie.
Yeah. I do feel that people, I think it's an instant judgment to the person who stands up right after the first screen of a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Like, oh, you fucking...
Yeah.
You fucking simpleton.
See, I don't know what connection she has.
Yeah, how do you live your life like a savage? You know what I mean? Sit your ass down. You're not even worth my time.
When I see people,
I hope you're the half that disappears when Thanos clicks his finger, because you're not even worth the space you occupy.
Yeah.
Whenever I see anyone stand up at the credits are about to roll,
yeah.
Like I want to grab them, like, there's more. It's like, have you not ever done this before?
Don't give a man a fish. All right. Gotta teach him.
Also, I'm an elitist. I'm a cunt. So part of me feels like when they do get up, I'm like, you know what? Fuck you. We don't need y'all to stand up anyway.
Your body heat is making this uncomfortably warm theater all more sweaty in my ball sack. So you can get the fuck out.
Well, I mean, I don't really think all that.
You had the swells at the end of that night, man?
Oh, no.
That was hot as fuck up there.
Yeah.
Well,
and I dress in layers. So
Yeah.
I had on a t-shirt, rash guard, and a hoodie.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting there. It was getting to a point where
I purposely wore shorts and a t-shirt and just had my fleece on that I could take off, and I was still had the swells.
I usually
when I
run
get out of
cold,
there.
so
Really?
that's what I was worried about, and I was like, "Oh fuck, this was a terrible wardrobe."
I got a
choice.
racial question for you. All right, because I always get into this with my coworkers of African
I
American
mean,
descent.
it's about
Do you
average.
find
I
that
mean, I
white
dropped it on
people
the
are
table.
always hot and black people are always cold when you work in the same space?
No, actually,
Really?
no.
I that is uniformly my experience.
So, one weird experience I had with having the colostomy. Mm-hmm. I'm in a group on Facebook because there's a group for everything. Mm-hmm. And someone put up a question on there, and it goes, "Does anybody else in here run cold all the time and sweat heavy?" And everyone said yes.
Oh, so it might be something because of your.
Yeah, and I was like, "Holy shit!"
Yeah.
I was not aware that.
So you're not a good sample type for my theory.
Yeah, I'm actually probably the worst sample for any kind of black questions ever. It's like, so what's your experience with this? Well, my grandfather's white, so like, where'd you grow up? Columbia, Maryland. But you were born in Detroit, right?
Are you pulling your own black card? Is that what's happening right now?
It's one of those things where, you know, I try to maintain it, but then you'll ask me a question, I'm like, sorry, you know, I didn't watch Crooklyn. Don't hate me. But hello, Anita Baker.
How are you with Tyler Perry movies?
So Sarah was we were trying to watch Justice League, which I don't recommend.
Oh, come on, man, come on, bro.
I was way more okay with that than
You gotta watch the fan cut that I found.
Oh, really?
It was I think it was an objective without my own DC bias on there, a great improvement. So if you were at a C to a B, if you had a B to an A.
I got it on
my phone. I carry it with me like a Bible in my pocket at all times. Just like have you heard the word of our Lord? Let me show you. Like a fucking Mormon. Let me show you his original vision for the film.
I love letting the Mormons come into my house. I love talking to them. They're fun. But I want the DC,
to do well.
Yeah, I want it to. But so we put on Justice League. Sarah falls asleep.
Yeah,
I was really annoyed.
Yeah.
So I'm scrolling through my Hulu.
Hey, girl, step up your game.
Like I'm going to see Infinity War a second time before she sees it the first time. So she don't step it up. You know what she's getting for her anniversary?
What's that?
Not a contract extension. I can promise you that. But after she falls asleep. Okay, so I finished the movie.
Yeah,
I like to go to Hulu.
How far in did she get?
Not very.
Ooh. I mean, did she see Superman come back to life?
No.
Oh,
that's about where she fell asleep.
Yeah.
Because when that scene went down, I was like, I look at her, I was like, what are you doing? Like, fuck. All right. Like,
everybody who's seen that movie that I've spoken with, even if they don't like any of the DC movies, they think that scene is fucking amazing.
When he turns his head to look at Barry as
Dude,
he's
it's
running
like,
back, holy shit, it's really happening.
Are we already started?
Well, we tell a little special. You know what? It's been gold. Just go ahead. We got the whole new format.
Back it up.
So we don't know. Do you want to keep going from this, or do you want to put this at the end? I'll leave that up to you.
No, it's fine to keep it. If it's we haven't gotten into any spoiler stuff, right? We should keep that to the end for Infinity War.
Not really. Not really.
I mean, I just want to finish this.
You know what?
You
know the problem is,
no big deal.
Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, that shit. We should keep at the end because
there was no real spoiler. We talked about DC. We talked about Dante's hot dog fetish. We talked a little bit about jiu-jitsu. We talked about some rando African American lady that was sitting next to Phil that looked like the Deadpool's roommate. And then I asked the question to Dante if he found it. He's always cold around his Caucasian counterparts while in the office while they're always hot. And he said that he wasn't a real black person, so he didn't get his information.
But real quick on after she fell asleep on the movie.
Yeah,
I don't like where this is going.
Neither did she. I'm scrolling through Hulu because I look at things on Hulu.
Yeah,
I don't
as
know.
people do for 30 minutes before.
I don't really know what.
Dude, no, you don't.
I don't actually. I try to find something like there's nothing here. But so front and center, whatever the most recent Tyler Perry fucking movie was.
Oh yeah.
That shit was there, and I'm looking like no one else has my Hulu password, and I look over at her, and I look at the TV.
Was it Boo 2?
Probably it was the one with like the black outline.
So
it's a Halloween
either Hulu knows you're black.
Boo 2 is trash.
All right, wait. It's like that episode of King of Queens where TiVo thinks I'm gay. You guys ever watch King of Queens with Kevin James? You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
Like Oswald, whatever his name is. What's that comedian's name? Patton Oswald.
Yeah.
Like, so him and what's his face's cousin, they were living together.
Oh yeah.
It was a great episode. So either who thinks you're black, or your wife is cheating with you on this program behind your back.
Or it could be,
dude, if your wife was this closet Tyler Perry fan, like,
dude, that's funny.
So we did I did encounter about this because I was upset.
And this is how we put it out there. Your wife is white, so we got to put that out there as well. You know what I mean?
Melanin challenge.
Yeah. So apparently you might not be black enough for her.
So I confronted her about this the next morning. I was like, hey, did you watch a fucking Tyler Perry movie on my Hulu? Like, I also discovered on Hulu, like, you can like set up like Netflix now where like watch your own shit. Don't watch shit on my shit. Yeah. So, but this didn't exist at that point. So, I'm like, did you watch this shitty Tyler Perry movie on my Hulu? And she started to kind of stammer a little, and and she's like, "Well, I started to watch it. I didn't really like it." And that's always the likelihood. Yeah, but it's like when you get caught drinking alcohol as a kid. Yeah, but I didn't like it, so I spit it out. That kind of thing. It's like I didn't really like it, so I turned it off.
Are you talking about alcohol or penis?
Well, I mean, depends on how much alcohol I've had. But the moral of the story is. Yes, Sarah's probably not getting a contract extension next February 3rd, our anniversary. We'll see. She has time to make up for it at Father's Day.
Yep.
If she finds me, like, she tends to go out and buy me Marvel Legends. Like,
she's good with that.
Like, she picked me up. I talked to her about it. She picked up cable for me Friday.
Wow. She got there hunting for you.
She knows because the contract extensions, baby.
You know what? That's not a bad business model. I might have to renegotiate my current standings.
Well, it's just like football. It's like, how many yards did she rush for this year? Just under 1,000.
Yeah. Well, it's funny.
Half a year.
In some of the Norwegian countries, I think they automatically have a divorce. Like, there's like after 7 years, you're automatically divorced, and you have to get remarried every 7 years.
Can you remarry the same person?
Oh, of course. Like you just have to they'll send you in the mail, and you're with yep, we want to stay married, and they'll extend your marriage.
Oh, there's a contract extension.
It's an interesting concept.
Dude, I would have been fucked. There was somewhere along those 7 years, she'd have checked no. I can't fucking see it.
Yeah, I think I'm out. We would have made it to the first 7 years. It's like we both looked at each other. It was like, all right, show me yours.
She just looks over at me and says, the first 3 were pretty good.
So you just come home one day, the house is completely empty with a little 5x7 card.
Do you like me? Circle the answer.
That's good. It's kind of what it's reduced down to in those Norwegian companies. So I think we're gonna stop it here, and we're gonna save this for a bonus track and come back to it. So thanks, guys, for joining, and I hope you had a good time like we did, and we'll see you real soon. Thank you. Bye bye.